Welcome to Buff Brain Sportscast, Season 2, Episode 14, Week 13 of the NFL. I think we're going to title this one, Are You a Fanboy or Part of the Galactic Community? I'll explain later on what that means. Going to break it down in several different ways. Not going to belabor on it the entire time. We are here to experience the WWE Monday Night Football.
Are you ready for some Taylor?
Taylor
Swift party.
Everybody's fucking ready. Dan Timmy's in the house. He's fucking ready to go too. Oh, you don't say, Timmy. That's a beautiful voice you have there. Okay, we'll get more of that later. I wasn't even ready for that. I just thought I'd throw it in there. All right, so if you're a fanboy watching the NFL, you're thinking all these games are not the WWE with the football, well, this might not be the podcast for you, but you might open your eyes a little bit. But we are going to be talking about, once again, the scripted, rigged nature of this game, pointing out, how it happens, where it happens, what they might be using to accomplish such things. I'm in-house here with the Minister of Sports himself, Kev. He's giving away one free pick on Discord last season and this season. Check us out at bigbrainuniversity.com if you don't know who we are. Let's see. Somebody already got their helmet ripped off. And, I don't know. You can't really script some of their helmet. You can't script all of this stuff, you guys. Like, it's not every single play is just completely scripted to the T. It's like they have margins of error. If they throw an interception when they're not supposed to, they can get the ball back just with a turnover of downs. It's not, these things, errors are correctable. Some things are not correctable, but the reality is that they probably played these games out in millions of different simulated games. The supercomputer's probably done this, and the supercomputer's probably handing over the script to these guys, just like a version, like, okay, if this, then that type of situation. And like you said, it's really, if you think about it, they're running certain plays. Like, you could rig this game with just the two coaches being in on it, because you would just call certain plays against a certain defense at a certain time that wouldn't work, right? Like, let's run up the middle on 2nd and 8 for fucking 0 yards, just chew one up. Incomplete pass. There was pass interference there. Then the fucking fanboys start snorting. I saw on Facebook all the fanboys were snorting about fucking Green Bay beating the Chiefs because, my pass interference. It was a pass interference. I got on the thread, Kev. I was like, looks clean, easy catch.
Come on, man. That's so true, though. People saw it. Everybody agreed it was bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It was definitely pass interference.
It was 100%.
100% every fucking day.
Out of 100 times.
Tom Brady gets that call every fucking day. Was Tom Brady at that game? No, sir.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift was at the game. Sorry, Tay-Tay, you are not Tom Brady. You have not quite taken the NFL
not the hell
fully over yet.
She starts dating Tom Brady, it's fucking game over.
Yeah. Once Giselle gets kicked out of the house or something.
Yep. Once she goes over to the Brady side.
Once you go Brady, you never go back. Okay.
So yes, we're back. This shit's same shit, different script. But yeah, the EA Sports, look at that. They can just take the playbooks of all the plays and put it in a thing and okay, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this score under 40.
Yeah.
We're going to get this shit over 60.
Yeah.
Here's all the offensive plays. Just run fucking the ball and pass it. So yeah, here we are. We're on a Monday Night Football. We're still here.
We are still here. Yeah, so we're gonna have a bit of a chill show today. Last couple of shows have been actually just kind of action packed from start to finish. I think what's going on here, the vibe is that everybody's ready to just kind of chill. We're in a post Thanksgiving travel, saw the family, bunch of shopping. Now everybody's kind of like, all right, let me just relax here, back into the flow of the work thing. Christmas is like 2 weeks away, basically. And so that's going to be here before you know it. Everybody's waiting for a couple shipments, Got some new shoes, got to try those on. Got some new Jordans. I got some Jordans waiting for me at home, Kev. I pretty much need to just press stop on this recording and go because priorities, But what happened was just a segue here a minute. I'll come back to the Jordan thing. But all the people out there, this is just kind of a nice little chill time period. This week and next week be just a little more relaxed before a little more chaos, and then we'll be into the smooth new year, running smoothly.
Right into a brand new year.
Yeah, we're thinking that it's going to be a kind of a mild winter around here, not looking at a whole lot of snow. I think it will snow, relatively frequently, but it's going to be a lot of 1 to 3 inch type of thing. It's not going to be this 6, or it's not going to be a 4+ season where every snowfall's like, man, we got another 6 inches. Like I can't travel for another day or two.
Yep, stuck.
Or like last year, it's like one lane down the interstate for like a week or something. It's like where it's just traveling last winter was a hassle. It was a big hassle.
But there was already snowstorms all the way already before, so a foot of snow had already fell before now.
Yeah.
It was like a blizzard.
Yeah.
Right after Halloween.
Now
actually, it was like right around Halloween. It was.
Yeah. Right.
And this year Halloween it was so cold, but now they're looking at 60-some degrees. That's bullshit because you know what's gonna happen. We welcome to the Ice Age, January, February, and fucking snowfall fucking March. Next thing you know, we got 90 inches of snow and nobody knows what to do, and we're gonna be. It's the thing. Do you want to get it all that at one time, or do you want to space it out, like you said?
Yeah.
Sit a couple inches there. I don't know. I don't think we're tolerable for the ice, obviously, but hey, what are we gonna do? Right. I think driverless cars going to be safe on the roads.
Take it in stride like we always do. Don't move to the Midwest unless you're ready to deal with some winters, man. And it's not like, oh, I live in the city, I don't have to deal with the winter. It's not like that here. It's just not. I think other big cities, coastal cities, they run a little warmer anyway, and they're not generally in the Midwest. Like Minneapolis, I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever want to experience a winter in Minneapolis.
Not a chance.
Maybe just count me out on that one.
Not a chance. Not Chicago. Not only place I'm going to experience is Las Vegas, if that's the case. Cause,
yeah. If you want to experience a big city during winter, better be south of the warm zone, south of the snow line, south of Kansas. There you go.
Yes. So yes, that's where we're at. Transitioning.
Yes,
coming off of the either going to love or hate Christmas based off of what Thanksgiving was, or people just bypass and not going to do anything. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'd be curious what people are talking about sports at these get-togethers. Is everybody in on it as a fanboy, or is
I know.
Are people like coming out of this? It's way past time of the Renaissance of this. This shit ain't scripted. I mean, prove it. I can't. Well, then that's how. Like, how can I prove it? When the fucking blatantly everybody knows this shit because of these flags.
Yeah.
Why? You know why they emphasize this whole pass interference? Because it was fucking pass interference. Because that is the truth. But we can't prove it because the NFL said, no, that wasn't. Or they didn't find it.
Oh, it's just a
like,
miscall,
they didn't
guys.
find it. Imagine if they were in a court of law. They're fucking guilty for sure.
Prove that the referee saw the pass interference.
And exactly. And now people are just like, well, let's just see what happens next week. And it's not just it's not just that game.
It leaves them
it's
in this
every
state
fucking
where they're like,
game. It's every game.
Yeah, they never get any resolve to it. So it's just like they end up just, I'll just point and blame the refs next time. It's like they're just normalizing it, you guys. They're normalizing it. They could have thrown a flag if they wanted to.
They could throw a flag.
And they could have thrown a counter flag to be like, well, there was also, pass interference on the offensive team. So,
like
they just cancel each other out.
It wasn't like they threw
They'd make up, yeah.
It wasn't like they threw two flags.
Plus,
they just threw one, but they didn't call the pass interference. And then they threw a flag on something that wasn't pass interference, but they called it. It was like the guy, like, he looked at him. And, like, his hand was there, pass interference. But this motherfucking was a blatant pass interference. And everybody saw it, and everybody's mad, and everybody's sad. But you know what? They're going to watch it. This shit's going to go on regardless of what happens.
I think what they
can
do
coax
as well
this entire manipulation of this nonsense. And even the Super Bowl, people are going to be pissed because, that's the shit. This loss for the Kansas City Chiefs, it can affect everything. Like the Chiefs might be playing on the road during the playoffs now.
We'll get to
they
that.
might be playing Green Bay at a rematch.
There's some narrative stuff to go
Like there's
on
a lot. And they can, like I said last week, they got 5 weeks now to figure this shit out. Taylor last night, Chiefs lost. Well, now what's going on? They were undefeated when Taylor was in the presence. The Chiefs were undefeated when Taylor was at the games, at the Vikings game and all the home games.
I know.
They covered the spreads.
Let's get to that part of the breakdown on that narrative, just because it's going to come up a little bit later, and I want to tie it in.
All right.
I want to tie it into that.
Go.
But to comment on what you were saying there about the obvious pass interference, the change here, and this has been true in the past, but the change lately, post-COVID, and definitely since Taylor Swift has been in the league, just this past couple years, these field goals, curving, zigzagging, the all the dropped passes, all this and that, they are putting this out in front of your faces to a point where it's so fucking obvious. And they're like, where you say, Fanboy will be like, oh, well, it's not scripted and rigged, proved it. Well, what were you just saying right there? Why didn't they call that fucking pass interference? These are professional referees. Everybody, even in the fucking stands, saw it. They got giant TVs there that are bigger than fucking life.
People overseas were watching.
They would have been like, "Oh yeah, we obviously
people
missed
that don't even speak English were watching this from fucking countries where Taylor's been influenced. Now they're pay-per-viewing to watch this shit.
So
why would they want to continue when it's like the Chiefs lost?
They're putting shit out in front of us right now.
Be like, oh my god, why am I going to watch something that is? And you know what? It was at Green Bay. So they can get away with not throwing flags. If that was at the Chiefs Stadium, there's no fucking way that would have happened.
Right,
and they did this there's a blatant purpose. Because why are we talking about it now? Because it should happen.
Hometown, so they can get by with it.
And the fanboy, they're addicted to these sports, basking in the glory of reflection. But now they're seeing the side that we're seeing. Yes, it is why would they not do that? It's fixed.
The old-fashioned.
Why wouldn't they throw the flag? It's Patrick Mahomes. He's the poster child for the ref. You know why they did that? For payback. For all the times the Chiefs have fucked all these other players gambling, big bettors. People are getting fucking really destroyed with their insight on what's the future of this going to be, but the gambling too. This is costing millions and millions and millions of dollars because of that. Because you know what happened? The pass interference flag would have put him up to like the 5-yard line. You got fucking Patrick Mahomes at the 5-yard line. It's like you give him 4 He don't need 4. He need 2. And he's probably going to get a flag, push to the goal line. Yeah. Game over. They could have shifted that thing and it would have been a tie because they needed 8 points. They would have got the 2-point, win by a field goal. Yep. But no, there was something more to it. They needed, like, there's probably so much money bet on the Chiefs that they couldn't afford. Well, they could afford. They just want to fuck with the pump. They want to fuck this whole thing up, including my picks. So
they're just fucking with everybody, and it's gonna be something like that on all of these close games. What did we see on that other Patrick Mahomes fucking? Where he just like ran out of bounds instead of running into the end zone.
He stopped short of the goal line.
Yeah, stopped short of the goal line.
Because the point spread was
affected.
That was part of it. Like, that was one. But that was at the Chiefs. People were happy.
God, fanboy.
But now the Chiefs fans are getting a taste of what it's like to be part of a rigged script that should have went your way. But you know what? We're going to give you all the Super Bowl anyway, so we're going to fuck this whole thing up the next 4 weeks, and we're going to make Taylor Swift part of this. And you know what? In the end, everybody's going to forget about what happened. Because you know why? Last year's playoffs was a prime indication why people are still watching this. Was the Baltimore Ravens, or was that that playoff with the Chiefs against the...
Because once...
everybody was talking how rigged, how fuck... And here we are. We're seeing it again. This is a pattern. Do people not see that this is a pattern? This isn't just one team. This is every game. And we're not seeing all the games, but there's shady shit going on all over the place.
Well, and then what they do once people are like, oh, God, I'm not watching, like, viewership is down, they distract you with, Israel, war in Israel.
Or Taylor Swift.
War in Israel, Taylor Swift.
They bring in the new generation because the old generation is done with football.
To distract you.
They need 10 million new watchers for
Donald
NFL.
Trump again. It's like they know what strings to pull, when they need to pull them, like
they need
how
10
much
million
attention.
Viewers under the age of 20.
And then that same week when they do that, they'll throw the public a fucking bone, the bettors a bone, just so they bring them back the next week.
Next week they'll give the Chiefs a win.
And they're fucking monitoring, like, these... You guys, like, need to think on a level where it's like, okay, this is where we're going to start to separate where this fanboy and, like, are you a part of the Galactic community? Are you a fanboy or are you a fucking Galactic community citizen that's trying to, like, uphold the epitome of what it is to be part of a fucking Galactic community? I want to lose where I was going with this, but all right, let's just leave it at that for a second. We got a commercial here. We got some hockey. We got a fifth TV going here tonight. So we got some hockey. We have some...
commercials on every time the guys...
We have WWE.
Look at the commercial. Peel.
Oh, no, that's not Key. That's JD.
Anyway,
JD
so continue. We got the WWE.
We got the WWE. We got Family Guy, and then it looks like the Christmas Story.
No, it's over there. It's the Polar Express.
The Polar Express. Okay.
We're in the Christmas season. Then we got Luscious, the award-winning leg lamp in presents, keeping the light on for the spirit.
Yeah. If you guys could be in studio with us, we have full entertainment going on.
Yeah, we got plenty with the NFL. It gets so funny, you got to watch something else because it's so hilarious how these guys are just fucking around, playing all this nonsense. So I get entertainment out of it, but after a while, it's like, come on, it's just too much. I can watch the game fucking and just, I don't know, man. People are fans in the stadiums. They're crying, they're yelling, they're sad, they're cheering and fighting, and it's just that whole fanboy metabolism.
Mentality, yeah.
Metabolizing.
Fanboy metabolism.
The metabolizing, it's not rigged, it's no way.
Full of piss water.
Yep.
And
they're playing goofball up there.
Hot dogs.
Yeah. Beer. Gotta get the beer.
Fucking, I would call it fast food, but I'm just gonna call it trash food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
They want to charge you goddamn $20 to eat some. So have fun with the NFL games. Some people are diehard fans, man. They love that shit.
I know it.
Not a fucking chance.
I mean,
not a chance.
I get it because it's like they really.
They wouldn't let me in the stands. They'd be like, "Get this fucking guy out of here. He's calling the shit rigged."
Like this mentality.
They would attack me.
Is like you are tear down like years of fucking reality tunnel conditioning on these people. Like it's like encoded into their youth. Like as kids, they get basically imprinted on by like these are the stars, like everybody's watching them, they're making so much money, they're the pinnacle athletes, they're the best at the game, and it's really like, this is a fucking WWE wrestling match, just like the NFL, just like fucking whatever the soccer, football league is, just probably even hockey.
Probably disc golf too.
I'm gonna get into disc golf too. Okay, let's because we're still getting rolling here. Sometimes I like to save things for those people who who listen long enough to deserve it. The juicy fucking steak. I'm not just like serving them the steak like, hey, here's your steak.
I got the knife and the fork, but I ain't got the steak.
That's right. That bitch's still on the grill. Let them taste buds get wet. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so
Kobe beef.
I listened to Jake the Asshole's did a live stream. I wish he had a better channel name. Jake the Asshole just sounds like a gay porn channel, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm watching that live stream, and he made it a metaphor where he's like, politics is WWE, and why he's saying Donald Trump is world wrestling entertainment. He is a a wrestler, whatever it is. He's part of the WWE. And you would probably remember when he like went and clotheslined Vince McMahon. Like you probably remember.
I remember
that
for sure.
Yeah.
This was before. If you would have said he would have been president at that time, people would have fucking threw you in the fucking. It would have been like, there's no fucking way. Donald Trump,
but
it
was written then. They all knew he was going to be. And what it resonated with, it was like that. The episode prior, we had been talking about why Taylor Swift, why now, why Donald Trump, why then. Like, the only way that we get here now is because they're playing these cards that are like, they're the only fucking cards that they can play that have this big, massive effect. It was Trump, it was Swift, and now there's get this, Kev. Remember the game Fortnite?
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest fucking games of all time. Blew up during COVID. Fortnite is now I don't know for sure if you can no longer like play the game as it is like intended, but when you like December 7th, I think there's an update to the Fortnite where it's Legos. Now it's Legos. And it's not like Fortnite Legos, like you're a Lego character playing Fortnite. It's like a different game. It's like a Legos, but like Minecraft. And they mixed in Rocket League. Now they have like Rocket League is like a racing game now. And they mixed in something else too, like another fucking game to it where it was like, well, I probably won't ever mess with that, but maybe some of this other stuff actually sounds kind of interesting. And so I'm watching the trailer, and I'm watching the guy on Twitch go through the video, and he's hyped about it, and he's just like, dude, he's using all the same words I'm using. Like, we're using.
No.
There's
you talking
only
about Jake?
Nope. This is a different stream.
Okay.
But all of this is synergizing. He's saying that only in Fortnite could they have done this. Only in Fortnite could they have pulled this off. Like, just, it's the only game out there that could have done this with. He's like, this is cataclysmic. This is massive. And it got me thinking, because it's like, that's the pattern that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
And in the video, there's actually this, it's very, very biblical based. There's actually Shape of the Earth reference, and then there's Fallen Angel reference. And I mentioned that, and the streamer was like, oh yeah, actually now that you mention it, yeah, it does fit that. And then even in like the end of the video, it was like giants. There's like giants like smashing the small people. And I'm like, well, where have we seen that? Fucking Barbie. Like, all of these things that I've been sure to like make note of on our cast, so it's documented. We're seeing this repeat again.
It is repeating.
So how this circles back to disc golf, because I don't want to belabor on that, is remember when I told you that a disc golfer last year, they went to the European Open, so they were in Europe, and on hole 18, so your 666 numbers already there. On the last hole, the guy gets called for a time violation. Like he took too long, which it wasn't when he was putting. I'm not going to get into it because like this disc golfer is notoriously known for like having time violations and kind of having like a temper. But they have this like kind of standoff where I was like, this, when I'm breaking down the psychology and the body language of the whole thing, it's like this just doesn't fit. It looks like it was
like planned,
like staged.
Throw the game,
right?
Throw the match.
So get this.
That's what you do in tennis.
Now people are gonna be like, "Oh, prove it." Okay, fanboy. Listen to this shit. That guy, the disc golfer who got called, who threw the tantrum, and then he got suspended. He came back to disc golf. Everything's cool now. Got a new sponsor. He has a girlfriend that also plays disc golf. She plays on the pro tour. And guess who she decides to dress up as? As a little bit of cosplay on the disc golf course. She goes into this character during like interviews as well. It's a wrestler. And Pit Vipers.
Oh. No shit. Lawyer?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Okay, right? So she's now like, she has this, I have this character, right, developed. Like, okay, so she's the girlfriend of this guy who has this very stagey fucking thing on hole 18, and if you go and do the research on the community, you can see that there's like definitely satanic symbolism and some probably cult membership going on there. They hide it right in plain sight, so it's, it's not me going out on a very far limb there. They put it right fucking there, just like she is. And what's happening, Kev, is I think it's a softcore disclosure that disc golf is WWE with a frisbee. Not everybody's in on it in disc golf. Select few are in on it, and they're understanding that, look, when the frisbee needs to go in, when I need some hole-in-one to make some fucking marketing, like sell some discs or some shit, it happens. And guess who it happens to? Macho Man Randy Savage, right? I mean,
it's all
she's super marketable. Like everybody loves her because she's has that charismatic personality. It's not so hard on the eyes. So
everything's script, man. Everything.
It's like, dude, I didn't fully like put it together until after I had heard Jake, and Jake didn't say anything that we hadn't said before, and he didn't put it in a way that we hadn't said before, but just hearing someone else say the same things. And then a little bit later on, I saw a video that had her in it, and she was and I was like, wait a minute. Everything, like the pattern had repeated itself so many times, I was like, okay, I see it. Like, this is a ploy to say that even the whole transgender thing in disc golf was all a fucking scripted out nonsense, all of the fucking legal battles and shit. Because, remember I was telling you, the gal just somehow has like free legal representation from like lawyers in Minnesota. It's just like, how do you just have free legal representation to whichever fucking state? They're just so behind the cause. And like, who the fuck is behind letting a guy play in women's sports? Like, so then, get this. Now there's this fucking movie out called Lady Ballers. And the whole movie is about a fucking ex-high school team that gets back together and puts a bunch of wigs on and goes and plays in women's sports and just whoops the shit out of them. And then it goes through this whole thing, like they all get deals, like sponsorships from Maybelline and shit like that. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of a funny movie. I think y'all should. It's worth your time to check out.
That Jake the asshole.
To connect all of those things, they're just there. That's in a nutshell what's going on.
This Jake, he sees it, man. Like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Not
to a T, but damn, fuck, you can be, if you're 50% correct on that stuff, it's
mm-hmm.
plain sight.
Yeah.
And it's so tough to pick these games. Do you have any idea how tough it is to pick?
I think
not just the spread. I'm talking pick the game. I don't give a fuck if the team's favored by 14 and a half. They can get beat any given Sunday, but people don't want to buy into it. That's why these numbers are so they make your head spin as a gambler.
Yeah.
They make you misguess everything.
And there's misdirection in there on purpose.
Everything. So
because they're like, oh well, they'll know they will be catching on here, and guys, I think that's where I was going with the Galactic community, like with where your thoughts need to be, is a fanboy is watching these things like it's real, and we're watching this like there is a supercomputer controlling all of this stuff, like all of the cell phones on each team in the stadium, like it's recording all of that, all of their voices. So even if there was like a big group of guys or bettors, not just guys, like a big group of gamblers, bettors that were like, okay, we're gonna start testing these theories, right? And they go and try to move the line or something, like they bet like halfway through, right? Let's say they do something like this, Kev. They go and bet a little bit of money to make it look like, oh, the public's all over this, right, mm-hmm. right? And then Vegas is thinking this is the way we got the game ready to go. And then like fucking halftime, they go in and they quadruple their bets.
Yep.
And they bet on the other team because now it's fucking 42-3 Dolphins.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Absolutely.
But now
the money.
The supercomputer already knows when all of this is happening, so it can make adjustments in real time to maybe the bettors beat the supercomputer that game. They're like, oh, it's like okay, fine. But now I'm just going to adjust a couple of these games that haven't been played, and I'm going to get you on the back end. And it's probably even hooked up, Kev, this supercomputer. It's hooked up to the stock market. It's hooked up to fucking everything.
Because
every radio broadcast, everything. So it knows where it needs to do something, whether it's play a commercial or or hack your fucking bank account or Taylor Swift or send a fucking package to the wrong place.
Yep.
or phantom phone call, right? Oh, wrong number. No, answer, nobody's there. Little anything. I'm throwing out silly details that nobody might even think of to something like Taylor Swift. This supercomputer is able to orchestrate all of those things in a way that it's like when we're watching a football game, you guys, or voting or anything, like your brain is processing all of this information in a way that you understand that like what's happening here on Earth is part of this like greater war that's occurring between it's not just here on Earth. Like this is a war between factions of probably great sorts and many multitude of different facets to the point that it would make our head spin.
Yeah, fuck it does.
But it is the difference of like knowing like, okay, what's a decent example? A decent example is like Star Wars. Like you know the Jedi exist and you know there's a galactic community like fighting for good and that also knows that this NFL is scripted And it's like this galactic community is like, hey, listen, we are observing what's happening there on Earth. We can see you where you are, and we can basically predict the future because we know that the supercomputer is doing stuff, and then they have the ability so they can sync up it as well. I won't get too far into that, but when you start thinking along those lines, it's like then the galactic community can like help you help them type of thing. So then things like synchronicity in your life can start to align up where you can start to ascend in this place. You can start your ascension to the next instead of getting stuck here like all of the fanboys will. So what are we? We're about 35 and a half minutes in, Kevin. That's a lot of deep wisdom there. Like in a very quick nutshell.
And you got to think.
And we're just trying to fucking chillax here.
I think money drives all of it, especially with entertainment and sports. It drives it all. Why do they make entertainment movies? Do you think the ending's gonna come out the way you think it is? Well, motherfucking, what do you like? This shit is a story tell that is absolutely manipulating. And why is the NFL legally allowed to do this?
Yeah, why? Because of this gambling thing?
No, they're legally allowed to do it because it's classed as entertainment. It's for entertainment.
Right,
On the other hand,
they can get around it in the law.
In the entertainment business, if you run a game show, you can fix that because it's a game. It's a game show. You can fix it. But if it's becoming intellectual, Jeopardy, all that, intellectual shows, they can't legally fix those. And a celebrity type one, I'm sure they could give Snoop Dogg all the questions so he has an idea what kind of answers. But I'm talking your genuine teacher, a professor from this location, and then that's why the NFL is not an intellectual contest. It's an entertainment. That's why they can legally do whatever the fuck they want.
What a tackle.
They control the gambling.
I mean, that was like one right there. Prove it. Watch that guy. He didn't even try to fucking tackle him. He like shrugged himself off of him. Like, fuck that.
No.
Like now,
there's only two laws that protect the NFL. The only two laws that you can't do for the NFL. You can't try to coerce a current active player, a referee. You can't do that. You can't offer a referee $5 million to throw a game. That's legally you can't. And the other one is with the gambling now, they got their hands in it.
Yeah. And it's like legal.
It's legal to gamble.
And
if there's 90% of money on one side that people are jaded to take, if you're going to gamble the NFL, you better fucking fade the public, and you better fucking make sure the numbers that you're fading are accurate. Because there's so many sites that they'll manipulate you. These numbers manipulate half of the people. Why do you think the sports books make all this money? Because they get charged every fucking. You got to bet 10% is going to the house if you lose. And gambling, do you think this shit, gambling in casinos, that shit is mathematically rigged for you to lose consistently over time? That's why
it's all on the supercomputer.
It is, but the thing is, we don't have that motherfucking. They have it. They have it. Taylor has it. The powers that be have it, but we ain't ever going to see that because it's on their own. They're their own entity out there. It's a own fucking organization. They're their own NSA, FBI, whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
You ain't ever going to get in that organization.
It's a Bengals win. It's a Bengals win. I'm calling it now. No, I'm not calling it now.
7-7.
It's 7-7. Usually the first team to fucking celebrate in the end zone has been winning the Monday nights.
Yeah.
But I didn't see if Jacksonville actually celebrated.
That's my rant on this. This is why this is legal for them to do all this.
Yeah.
And
they
steal
get
people's money from the sports gambling.
The red tape and the what's the word I'm looking for? It's not half truths, but it's word salad.
But the NFL is good because with their numbers, they could mathematically they could make every team have 5 losses at the end of the season, okay?
Yeah.
And all it takes is every team to have 5 losses. they're going to get their money back whether they give the money back to the public. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's say 90% of the money's on one side. The NFL can be like, let's give this money away to these people. Let's get everybody a taste. And we'll let them win 3 games in a row mathematically. But everybody else on the losing side will suffer. And everybody in the end all will suffer from this bullshit.
Well, I would
that gambles. When I mean gambles, they're fucking soul sucked into this, and they can't get out of it because they're emotional too.
I would imagine that they do something like align when the public wins in a certain geographic area.
And what game it is.
And what game
like
it
what
is.
game brings the most money to the NFL on 2 key games.
With when they're having
and
like sales
everything
in, like locally, like they're some sort of fundraiser for a political party, or just something where they want the public to have a little bit extra cash. Like maybe even they're releasing a new jersey of somebody in that. That's what I'm thinking they do it, because they're not giving that money away just for the public to be like, hey, go spend it wherever you want type of thing. It's like, no, the supercomputer's already doing, like, think about how Facebook will advertise to you what you're thinking about, basically. Yeah. It's like the supercomputer already knows, like, where it wants you to spend your money for the rest of your entire life. It's already simulated that out. So, likely, it's just going to catch them in some fucking trap, like, oh, somebody's house burned down. Like, it's gonna be something, Kev, where the money's almost already spoken for. Like and only the ones, like, that, you know, the sharps that are used to fucking capitalizing on the situation are gonna spend the money wisely. But the other ones, they're probably gonna either bet again because they went into DraftKings and now
full on panic and they chase their losses.
Or now they're trying out ESPN Bet. That new app where it's like they got a plan for this money, dude. Like they're not just giving it, like they didn't just give out all that COVID money and then make all this gambling
thing
on scripted rigs.
They're making more
sports.
Gambling. They're making more gambling documentaries and gambling Netflix gambling shows. They're showing bookie shit, you know, with shows about bookies.
Yeah, how to be a bookie. It's in its like second or third episode now.
Yeah. That shit came out as soon as this, like, they had this plan.
Yeah.
They knew fucking 10 years ago they were going to be in some gambling movie someday.
We pointed out, like, in 2019, there were some movies that we had just talked about a couple episodes
the Uncut
ago.
Gems. I mean, that's all about degenerate gambling and inside information.
Adam Sandler,
the motherfucking same thing happened.
Inside Game.
Yeah.
What's it called?
No, it's
Inside Game.
Uncut Gems.
No, Uncut Gems. There was another one.
The Inside Game is all about the rigging of the mob.
Referee.
And you know what? The mob still control this shit. It's just now it's taxed in states that's legalized gambling.
Yeah.
You would have went to jail for doing this shit 15 years ago. And on top of that, bookies still to this day are a valuable source because the black market's never going to go away. And the reason being, let's say you're a degenerate gambler. You want to fucking gamble on DraftKings? What do you got? They just going to give you credit? You got to put your information. If you win too much, they tax you, and your fucking wife finds out you're gambling, and they're like, "Honey, where did this like $3,000 disappear off of this?" And like, "Oh, I'm investing in it." Next thing you know, the fucking guy's stuck for 3 dimes. Now he's like, now he has to go to a book and be like, "Hey, I want to keep this quiet." And that's where bookies will always have the back route to it, but then you got to deal with degenerate gamblers. So now bookies got both ways. They got fucking degenerate gamblers that don't want to gamble online because they don't want their fucking wife to find out. They don't want to go to a casino because what if the wife's friend is gambling and she sees you at the casino at the sports book, and then now you got to fight, and now you're worried about your parlays. But you go through a book, like a local book, that's more of like a, you know, you're keeping that shit out of the. But then I've heard, you know, people full out screaming in a supermarket because their bookie fucking cost their marriage, and this is before DraftKings. So now you cultivate all this stuff into it. It's a disaster for the gamblers, especially with holidays. $50 here, $100 on these games, motherfucking, that's like $4,000 in 17 weeks, and that's people don't do that. People bet fucking thousands just to whatever. So. and add Taylor Swift to it, and my gosh.
We got a witch's brew on our hands here.
Why her?
And
we're still trying to figure out. I want some answers now. Not next time. I want from people. I want answer what is going on.
Still trying to figure that out, man. I haven't reached the end of the rainbow yet. I've had some time off work, so I've been in like an interesting headspace where I've just been able to introspect and get a nice like deep headspace, you know, where the world makes sense to me. So
eating shrooms, that's about the extent of how we can make it make sense. But trying to formulate it with just conscious, I don't know. Is that possible?
Well, I don't.
There's got to be substance added to really formulate the, you know. I don't know.
What I will say is, like, there are still a lot of people out there that surprise me and give me hope. Like, there's surprisingly a lot of Christians that are not as necessarily, like, as bound to that belief system as one might think. And why that is because I think the ones out there that, like, in this day and age that are truly, like, smart enough to have a good conversation with and actually understand somebody, I think that they can understand somebody else's path to a relatively enlightened place without having Jesus or Christianity in their life. And the feedback I've gotten from some of them, it actually gives me some hope, because it's like, when they're using words that I use and stuff like that, and that, like, they describe some things in a way where it's like what they're really describing is kind of like a deeper truth than what the confines of Christianity and the Bible will allow them to, I guess, experience and also illustrate in words to other people. I'm able to break that barrier down sometimes to where it's like, no, they understand, where it's like you can, because a lot of times you can just use, I don't want to get too far into this, but a lot of times you can just use Jesus as an example and be like, well, how did Jesus learn all his stuff? And they would say, well, it was Judaism. And it's like, well, what the fuck was that? You know, like, all of the philosophies at that time were Eastern philosophies, like Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism.
A lot of isms.
Like, that was where that's, like, read Marcus Aurelius and stuff like that, where it's like, well, they say the Hebrews were the ones who wrote the Bible, and it's like, well, the Hebrews weren't even Christian, so what gives here, you guys?
Yeah,
so it's like the guys who wrote the Bible. Yeah, exactly. Where the fuck did they get the books from?
Well,
like, they were the ones who chose which ones they were included or not. It's like, what? You guys are getting fucking hoodwinked, where it's like somebody was just like, and let's take all of history and put it in this book. Like, burn all these ones, put it right here.
Yo, religion rant is hilarious. What? And I love but I gotta preface this. That's why I can't add much to this religion.
Get going on that,
because, you know, we've only been.
That's where we are.
I gotta think basically everything, because people are still alive, so everything before, I don't know, we'll say 1940. I'm like on eggshells about, even before I was born. I still gotta be cautious about. I gotta be cautious about what I'm hearing, because even I'm honestly like, because I know things in this lifetime, but people 150 years from now will be like, well, nobody was alive when, whatever.
Yeah.
No, you know, 200 years from now, they'll be like, nobody was alive when fucking this was shit. Now, who knows what's going to go on with all this, just sports, for example.
Right.
But I'm very cautious on what to believe.
Oh.
And what not to believe, because that can put you in a fucking rabbit hole, and you ain't going to get out of it. And when you do, it's like, holy shit.
You are describing a wisdom that no fanboy can even fathom. Because only once you start realizing that, like, look, I'm part of a galactic community, and my role here can augment that, or you can choose to ignore it in a gray area, or you can choose to go against it. The choice is yours, and we have that here and now. Like, that's our experience. But when you start thinking like Kev is over there, where it's like, man, if I can't really verify and validate this information, then I can't really base my like worldview on that, because I mean, that's why I wrote my book. And it's like, I can't just sum up quickly what happened and be like, okay, now fit what you think you know into what happened in the book, because it needs somebody like Kev with a big brain where he's gonna be like, oh wait, so no, there is something on the other side, and it's like they're signaling to you that, look, we think the same way. The foundation, the spiritual foundation of truth that you are establishing, we parallel that. That thought pattern is the fucking same here. And when I connected that, it's like I saw things and experienced things that were like, nobody else, you can't fucking find that in the Bible. Like, show me that one place in the Bible where what happened in my book happens. You can't. Like, show me in any other book where they're talking about this stuff, and like somebody has gone through like this path and had these experiences, and then wrote something to fucking share it with you all, to be like, hey, look, all this shit is happening in this, and like everything we fucking know is wrong, you guys. Like,
well, I think the revelations, I will put my spin on, yes, the end of the book is the ending. The end is near. Cost of living going up, chance of surviving going down. I don't see why the end would not be coming near. But am I going to go up? But there's patterns that add up, and I'm like, you know what? We ain't at the beginning. We're at the end of this, whatever this is, and it's not going to rewrite any. We're not going to be able to rewrite this whole, this whole book, whatever the book of choice is, whatever it is. But I will say the Revelations is pretty. It's one of those. It's like, well, this is happened, but that happened back then. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm at a slippery slope on that.
Very
I can't really put my head completely on what, but just certain things are like, you know what? This fucking world is going to a fucking we're imploding piece by piece, and we're just not all putting it together.
There's a shift, and there's a direction that they're actually, I say they, but it's like, I mean, there's like two paths that society can go. It's like society's being pushed, you know. It's this old age adaged fable of like good versus evil. It just seems like that's, for some reason, we're in this state of like this binary war where it's like you're good or evil, and then a bunch of people in between. But it's like that spectrum is what we're dealing with. And yeah, that book plays, that old Bible there plays right on that whole narrative.
And we get rid of cash and everything's controlled, and then all of a sudden they flip the switch and there's nothing available.
The whole book,
the whole fucking thing shuts off.
They've been thinking that same thing since that book was published and given to them. So it's like they've been thinking that's for what? How old is the Bible? I don't even know.
I don't know, man. I look on the thing and like, when was it printed? Oh, it's like fucking 2001. Okay, the Bible was a print. I don't know how old the original one is. That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm only going with what.
We only know what they tell us.
Whoever just dictated that is in control of, and you can't change. That's a fucking part of the brainwashing. I mean, Jesus, how narcissistic can the control factor be in all that? I mean, they want a fucking toy, magic, put these puppets. They're doing a very good job at it.
Right.
The powers that be.
They've put a lot of effort. Like there's a lot of effort to go into putting on the show on the world stage.
Yeah.
Like a lot of effort. That means to see it all go off without a hitch a lot of the times, like, and just keep going and going and going, it's like, okay, this probably isn't the first time that this has happened, is what it, one thing it leads me to think, like, where Kev's like, fuck, anything prior to 1940, I'm like, it could have been anything. They could have thought it was the year 400. But the year 19, I don't know.
Because just go off the, before, 1980.
Think of it as like corporate turnover. Like, you can tell your incoming workers fucking anything. You could have had just a whole bunch of people quit because of sexual harassment stuff or whatever, and this and that, and the newcomers have no idea.
Nope.
They're just like, okay, well, they got rid of the old crew and got a new crew.
Like the Taylor Swift.
Like,
exactly. The football fans.
Exactly, guys. It's I
got us.
I think they got us like that, and
we all
with the
lied.
evidence of like big trees around the world that have been cut down, and like evidence where this whole entire place is just large scale landscaping. I mean, yeah, we are a smaller version of what was previously here. All the stuff about giants. It's like, why? We are here on the surface of whatever place this is, letting this like weird society and government, religion, and public school and Michael Jordan stuff.
Oh my God.
Like all Taylor Swift, Christmas trees and elves, snowmen,
Taylor Swift,
WWF wrestling, and hockey. I don't know, but I experience it. I think I am anyway.
Swift,
if I'm not, I mean, this is a really weird fucking trick.
But it all was bullshit. It was a goddamn joke. When I think of you, Taylor Swift, I want a fucking joke.
Of you, Taylor. That's funny. I wish I knew that.
I like Taylor when she's not on TV. One Taylor to another says, I'm lucky to have met you. I don't care.
Taylor Swift is the best artist in the world.
There is no other artist like the Queen.
Travis Kelce, she moved into his house. I think they're gonna be very happy there. Gonna have some babies.
Create a reality show.
Yeah, life with the Kelseys. What's gonna happen to the Swifties? Are they going to change their name to Kelsey's? They're not going to let that one go. There's a lot of people with little bracelets that say Swiftie.
Merry Swiftmas. And a Taylor New Year. Karma is a Taylor Swift.
She's our hero.
Jeez, Taylor. Oh my goodness, I still can't believe she is still involved in the NFL.
It's 14-7. I want to see another touchdown here. Give me another touchdown. Come on, Bengals. I need another touchdown before halftime. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the half. 7-14.
We should get a check-in on the Talking Dead. See what those old fuckers are doing. Are they in the basement counting cash? What do you think, Troy and Joe?
They were looking a little
Troy and Joe, let's see what... Did you see their uniform of the day? Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Wait till they show it.
A uniform.
I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, their uniform of the day.
The
same one they've been wearing since 106 years ago. If anybody, I'm going to believe those two. If they bring up anything, I believe Troy and Joe.
If we need to know something pre-1940, that's where we're going to have to go.
Yes, sir. So, anyway, let's get a check-in. We're going to check in on the... Like you checking on the weather. We're going to turn it over to Troy and Joe here in a second to get an update on what is going on.
They're keeping 6 guys in for protection, and so when you do that, it takes a lot of the burden off of the quarterback in having to set protection and know what edge you're taking care of. And last week, they used a lot of 5-man protections, and it was a little bit much for Jake Browning to handle.
Wow.
And because of the 6-man protections tonight, he's playing a lot freer. 2 minutes left in the half. Bengals
Yep.
I fell asleep.
That's something that you got to be extra dusty to know. More defensemen means more protection for your quarterback.
They can say whatever the fuck they want on Smart. My gosh, they've been using the same scripted lines since when? Like I said, 140 years the NFL's been around.
I mean, when you're
Founding
commentating
fathers.
scripted rigged games, I guess stating the obvious is about the only safe thing you can fucking do.
And what's interesting, they're using this word scripted. It's
Like,
not.
yeah.
I've never heard so much script. They're treating this more obvious than you realize because I heard a play and the guy goes, "Imagine if they would have ran the same script as last week. They wouldn't be in this situation." I'm like, "What script, guy? Like the one you was reading off of, and you know on the place, 5 place, so you can get your shit together to formulate a sentence that doesn't make sense you already know the future of what this game is going."
Yeah.
And they just sound stupid as hell. They don't know what they're talking. I trust Tony Romo. I mean, that's but they can't have him because they got the Walking Dead is fucking watching, or the Talking Dead for commentating. So
I heard one of the commentators was like, similar script to what we saw last week. I was like, what? Why would you say that?
That's going to make some people angry tomorrow.
Similar script to what we saw last week. Nobody says that unless they're like,
that's been using script.
know that they're watching a scripted thing. Like, nobody says it that way.
No, it's just how they're saying it now. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
And it all started at the beginning of the season.
I think
they made mockery.
It's one of those keyword
said,
situations.
Hey, we got the script, and and then here we are at Christmas, and we're still trying to figure out what that was going on.
People like us and Jake the Asshole have been putting it out in the atmosphere enough where it's like, yeah, guys, there's a fucking script. Like, there's probably been a script for a long time. But like I was saying earlier in the cast here, something changed, something shifted, and if you've been with us long enough, we've been harping on that, like,
forever.
Guys, something fucking changed here. Like, I even cashed out my chips because they brought this Taylor Swift thing in, and I'm just like, how Kev was describing it earlier, like, there's no fucking nothing, like, you can be right on, and it's just the supercomputer and be like, nope, Taylor Swift. You get fucking swifted no matter how good your pick is. It's
They're
like
gonna start calling the VIG for sports gambling. You gotta pay the Swift tax.
Yeah, you gotta pay the Swift tax. I'm like, I'm fucking out on that. Have your fun, but you're not gonna laugh at my expense.
No, and I'm not gonna be sad at their expense because then they win. So I'm just just following this whole thing out. And I'm not trying to manipulate their script because their fucking script.
Depression and stress, like, that's
script.
also a very large part of it because it affects our physical health. So, the supercomputer also considers that. It's also part of its function is to milk and farm rage, like in Monsters, Inc., the movie. They farm that energy.
And then they manipulate it.
The monsters in your closet and under your bed are fucking farming the energy. These days, it's the monsters on your social media and video games and television are farming your energy. It's like, and it's I like that a metaphor of like all of these sports, even disc golf is the fucking WWE. So again, it's like, are you a fanboy? Are you going to be a part of the Galactic community? You're going to wake up and be a part of like something bigger than all of us. You know, you're going to wake up and be a part of the Force, part of the remaining Jedi.
I think that would break up family traditions and families if they really started pressing this. Like, kids, shut the fuck TV off. This shit is stupid. We're not here to.
Yeah,
you know what?
to invent
I always
new
tell
things.
people. I always say this in the cast. I'm like, I don't have a problem with what the NFL's doing because they can legally do it. It's just you got to be careful what you're watching.
Yeah, it's
and how it
the
makes your
problem is
attitude change,
people
how
aren't
it puts your
smart enough.
view on other people because
Yeah.
they're manipulating this thing. It's
Yeah.
worse
Yeah.
than politics. When you
Yeah.
start talking sports and you go back and forth, dude. I've seen friendships destroyed over sports
Oh, yeah.
because you're not. It's like you're not. You're being. What do you call it when you fucking. You ruin something that's a good tradition. You know, like kids
Yeah.
would believe that Santa Claus really before this Christian, like this whole religion at this point. Kids, they will understand that. Okay, I believe Santa Claus before all this, but the sports thing that affects fucking people. I mean, just the way their entire mood could be is based off of some stupid whatever thing. And that same thing with WWE. But that's not. This is so. I don't know how can people understand it from a point of view that makes me understand to make as much sense as possible without being like, well, this guy is just fucking like
It's actually
true. He's way too down the rabbit hole. This shit is not real. He's wrong because I can't prove it and they can't prove it. So it's like one of those: you're going to take it or you're going to leave it. There's no. This is where the rubber meets the road with people. They got to come to a conclusion. Is my family going to continue down this route? But I get it. It's entertainment. But the people that are gambling and all that, that's just adding more to this.
Yeah.
It's like gaslighting this entire thing.
that could be hurting people.
Like, for real. Like,
Yeah.
relationship, fights at bars and people, animosity. And it's really, college football used to be that one where people generally, Michigan would hate Ohio State.
Yeah.
But this football thing is becoming more like social media, and you can say shit, and you can say whatever you want, no regrets, and you piss your boss off, and I don't know, man. It plays a big role in our society, and it's almost like if you don't follow it, then people are like, well, what are you going to fucking have to contribute to society besides not
What's
being a
wrong with
sports
you?
fan? But
Yeah, then they think you're a degenerate almost.
yeah, degenerate.
There's a movie that just came out. Oh, I will look here. Let me have just a quick gander. It'll only take me a second, but the reason I bring it up is because it goes into what you were saying, where this family switches places. The father and mother become the daughter and son and vice versa. So they have to live for a little while in each other's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things is that comes up, it's one of those occulted things, is it's like, well, they don't want to change or upset the social dynamic, the social structure, right? The cheerleader, football, social dynamic, king, prom queen thing. They don't, maybe it wasn't that movie that I'm thinking of. Maybe it was a different one, actually. But it was, I'm seeing the same kind of pattern repeated. You can find it because they condition it in it's all different sorts of television programming, where they condition this family idea. We can go into more details about it, where it's like, it's always the parents don't know anything. The kids are they know everything about the world, and they're always pissed off at their family for not knowing anything. So it's always, they create this like, the parents are the bad guys type of stigma. And that's what they want, because part of public school is to get the children away from the family so the family can't pass down knowledge from generation to generation. It gets replaced with the fucking shit in the school books that's all lies. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this place to state, because we wouldn't have doubted our family's traditions. And like, eons of ancient history just passed down through the families, because we would all be able to talk to each other and be like, yep, our family says the same thing, yep. You would have homeschooling type of thing. But no, they take that out. They take the kids away from the parents to educate them about like simple shit like reading and writing and doing basic shit like talking to each other and discussing your feelings. Put them in a social situation that you're never in anywhere else, where you're put in one fucking place and forced to learn with a bunch of people that you're not even getting paid to be around. And two, then they take your kids away from you in the fucking movies emotionally too, because they appeal to the parents don't know what's going on. Then they always depict the kids' room with the pictures of the pop stars and shit on their walls, stuff like that, pictures. So they just cater to the social media. They herd them like cattle to these social media outlets and to these rap artists and to this Taylor Swift. They herd them like cattle. That's what they're doing. That's why that's why all this shit is happening.
It's a burden, absolutely.
I don't know exactly how I got onto that, but it was what you said reminded me of a movie, and that's how they're conditioning.
Let me kind of cultivate that into something that this will make sense, because you got to look at people that maybe despise and hate the world, that maybe are in their mid-40s, that live in their parents' basement, as an example, right? So you got those people that were newborns entering this world at one time, right? They were a newborn that was put into this world that somebody set forth unhealthy nutrition and sustenances to include forms of perceptions, intentions, ideas, and setting the blueprint to life. And this newborn child develops these dreadful, self-defeating, rejected patterns of behavior that have led them down to a way of no positive future. When there's a middle-aged person with no future, no idea, no direction on how to get their negative gutter lives, only to put blame on everyone else doing something with the future ahead, and likely will never escape, they might just end up fucking getting a gun. Be like, fuck this. This is a world of a domicile we live in. Board this fed line of horse shit to seek reassurance by doing nothing. Old pal sadness, good to see you again, depression. Because you're not doing anything, you're dwelling. Something for nothing. You feel dreadful with no positive future. That's part of being a human. We evolved years and years of pursuers, collectors in the era when people were struggling. The human stimulation compensation systems and embedded acutely into our chromosomes must be respected in a mechanism to find happiness and fulfillment. Struggles, evaluations, trails, tribulations, learning from mistakes are all imperative to be a human being. And there we go. And that's where it all formulates. Put them in the system. Fucking educated motherfuckers, and they gonna fucking uneducate them one way or another. Soul suck the fucking life and have no future. Then what do? We got a future of what? We need educated people. But I don't see the answer. I don't know what the future could be picked if we don't change this. Where we're raising these fucking newborns, at some point they get fucking they get led down the wrong fucking path. I don't know how that all works. It's the psychology behind it all.
Well, we can actually break that down at a forensic level from the point where conception even, you could argue before even that, like in what type of influence the parents had and why. You know, you could go on down the line, but if we pin right at conception, baby pops out, what happens? What happens to it? You know, what type of environment is it in? Is it getting stabbed full of needles? Is it getting, is there a certain kind of music on? Like, there are so many little factors that go into it, because people are, there really is something to you're a product of your environment. And it's not always like, oh, well, if you come from a broken home, you're just going to be a broken person. That's not exactly what we mean. In all sorts of environments can produce different results. But what that means is, if you've been indoctrinated, say you went through a bunch of like Catholic school, or the opposite, where it was like, it wasn't church, it was football, or it was wrestling, or it was soccer, like that was the religion. Whatever it is, that's an XYZ situation, that the same kind of influence is there, where you say you're a product of your environment. Well, okay, that's a database of information, and those databases of information can, when you present somebody with information, it makes their brain ping those informations, those databases, and whether they've related them to other databases in their head or not, you can find out just by presenting information. That's why a belief system, I won't get too far into this, but that's why a belief system is actually really, it's a dangerous thing for you to have, because it's so easily manipulated. Noting on the manipulation points that you were making earlier, is if I identify myself, I say I'm Christian, well then, if Christianity is to blame for something, therefore I can be blamed for something. But if I don't identify as that, and I don't attach myself to it, it's more like, okay, well, that's not me, So they actually use that very with an essence of craft, like craftsmanship in mind. It's almost an art to them, how they can manipulate people and their beliefs, and that's how they do it, just through ignorance and using their environment. That's why we have a currency system, to create poverty and this and that, because they can increase stress levels and then ping out certain information through certain ways to cause a certain reaction. It's like, they've got it down to a science. It's relatively simple science, but I mean, you can imagine how intricate it gets when they've possibly been at this with all different types of life forms, because it's not just a human thing. Thinking and identifying truth and all those things, surviving, that's not just a human trait. Even animals have that. We have an extra set of intelligence on top of that, it seems, where they don't, but that's another different story, but it's also a parallel one. Well, then apply that to like giants and fucking like smart brainworms, or squids, or some other, like frogs, or imagine like a really fucking big frog, or a really big bird that's lived for like 300 years or some shit like that. Like, you don't think they'd have some matter of like intelligent sentience about them? Like, they might be able to think and process thoughts just the same way as we do. They just don't express them the same way. So it's like, we're all part of this same electromagnetic spectrum, where it's like thoughts are matter, and they have energy, and there's a certain way that you can think to create patterns that build and build and build on a foundation, and after a while it just becomes a unit, a one functioning thing.
What do you think, like, what percentage of people are unhappy, like, overall? I mean, you could be happy, but, like, overall, like, what percentage of people would be, like, they're just, either they're living their life pretending, but they're generally unhappy. Does that make sense? Because there's people that have endless amounts of money, but they could be unhappy. But then you have somebody that's got the Ken and Barbie life, and, they're unhappy, but, like, what percentage would you say?
It's tough to say what percentage.
A guesstimate. You got 10 people. You got 10 different lifestyles.
Okay, so let's just take 10 different
lifestyles that are like,
fanboys?
Yeah, we'll throw them in there.
Okay. 10 different people on the fanboy level, not on the Galactic citizen level.
Yeah.
Let's
your standard
on the fanboy level, 1 to 10. How many of them are actually happy versus and you noted actually, because I was thinking about this the other day. That's why I'm rehashing all these little details. And not just saying that they're happy or with the way that things are, oh, yeah, I'm happy, like, type of thing. Mm-hmm. That type of thing. Like, genuinely fucking like, no, this life rocks. I am happy as a motherfucker.
I'm not talking.
Nothing gets me down.
I'm just talking on a scale of 1 to 10. What mean?
Good God, Kev, I'd say fucking 1 or 2, maybe. And
so let's just say it's a 7. Let's say 7. Let's just say like 70% of people are unhappy. That's 7 out of 10.
Okay.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair assessment.
I don't think 50% are. I think it's
not even fucking close.
So let's just say 7. That's a good number.
Yeah,
that's a relatable number that we could all agree.
I agree
on 7. So, what is the pursuit of happiness then at that point? Like is it managing life decisions? I mean, if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a C minus. I mean, if you're a C minus in life, so if you're in the school system, what does that mean? It's the same grading scale, ineffectively, and it just puts us on this like grading scale. So I was curious, like, because it can never be continuous state. Nobody can be like, I'm a fucking 10, and when I see I'm a 9, and when I see my wife, I'm a 10. I see my kids, I'm a 10. Yeah, you're a 10 right then, but overall, are you a happy person? So I figure like that I would say it's non-existent. So I mean, life existence are cultivated by so.
Yeah, man.
Grappling and there's a lot of people out there somehow or another level will get complacent.
That's just
whether fantasy world or champagne world or you got fucking somebody doing your beck and call. Like if I had somebody over here at my beck and call and I'm like, they're like, hey, let me fucking be. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want any of this shit. Like rich people experience, they fantasize about having like. You got fucking.
You don't even have to put your socks on.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, like, hey.
But is that somebody's fantasy? That's a fantasy.
My own ass.
People would dream about that, but that is a fantasy. If that would happen every day, I'd go psycho.
I think that's one of those Disney. I just call those like Disney.
I'm like,
television.
You can imagine, like, you got the Las Vegas experience 365 days a year, and you're a celebrity. You think no, they want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But that's some vision's person. My perfect 10 would be like living that life, so you would be miserable.
And I think all of us, to some extent, seek solitude, especially when you're put in like really high social environments, like high intense social environments or high profile social environments, where what I mean by that is like you gotta act like a goddamn robot, and look a certain way, put the face on.
But say they have everything, but you gotta have stimulation in life. That's part of life. You have to. If you don't have fucking whether it's you have to.
That's
you
probably
have
why
to.
These rich people get into such weird things.
You have to have because if you
after a while, it's like not just having money is not enough. Like they need, and like
you're gonna be uninterested.
Being able to have sex every day with a new girl is like not enough. They got to get to the next level. Being able to do heroin every day is not enough. They got to get to the next level. Like they can't do coke every day. Like they just wear out and they push themselves to the next level. And I think there's a lot of different paths to what I want to say hell, but I don't want to say hell because it's like people always see it as like this final destination place. And one thing, I think that you can find hell here and now. I think that a lot of what happens to the degenerates in society, they reject it and they go underground. Mm-hmm. They go infiltrate the sewer systems and shit because it's warm under the ground during winter. So if you're homeless, where the fuck would you go? So, and that's just one example of an underground community. there's another way to that's like you've even seen that the soft disclosure in movies like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the Foot Clan. Like, what's the Foot Clan made up of? It's made up of a bunch of runaways who are pissed off at their parents. Like the same pattern we were just fucking talking about.
Yeah.
So they're hurting them to like leave society because this society fucking sucks and you all know it. That's why you're all trying to be Twitch streamers and shit. And instead of getting like real labor jobs to make the world go round, you're all looking for that easy fucking quick cash or that fame and fucking recognition, posting all these selfies and shit like that.
Taylor!
I didn't want to stop at that. Where the fuck was I going with that one?
But we were put on this planet, introverts and sustained necessity of provoking stimulation. We evolved to find good and escape enemies, bro. That's why we're here. Seek and find shelter, escape dangers of nature, and ultimately avoid extermination of survival. Reproduce, protect, and repeat. That's why we're here. But in the middle of all that, it all got fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gotten subverted. It's gotten subverted in a big way.
We got to write a whole new book. Whole new fucking scripture.
Yeah.
Like we're going to hell in a handbasket. It's there. People seeing it. They don't want to. I don't know how you can avoid it, but
It's probably existed like many different types of utopian societies, or just not even. I don't know if utopian's like necessarily the right word, but it's like just one that works and makes sense and is fair and good for people, where everybody, 10 out of 10 people are like, yeah, we're happy. We're not even trying to like go to Mars or some stupid shit like that. We have all the resources taken care of. We got sustainability and fucking every bit of every moment of our lives. Like everything that we do is just pissing excellence.
excellent. For sure.
But
Damn.
no, something happens, you guys, and like this place is just not that place anymore.
Oh.
I do think it once was, and I do think it might be able to be something like that again. But again, when I'm looking at obvious evidence of large-scale excavation that I can go and see for myself, it's like, and then the trees around it are like shrubs that could have grown within like 70 years, like fucking 1940.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably planted in 1940.
Skeptical.
Show me some fucking trees.
I've seen a coin that says 1896 on it. I'm like,
oh yeah, I've seen some of those.
I said this thing looked like it was made fucking 2 weeks ago. Tell me that thing's.
Oh, I know. Those coins are the fucking coins, man. They're in real metal and shit.
That's an example
like
of
actual
what I'm talking
value.
about. Like, can I believe that shit? I don't know. I don't know. But I will, because what else am I going to believe? I got other things to believe, to worry about. But that's an example.
It is an example. It's like, man, when I'm trying to like figure out like the grand picture, like how we all got here, like what is my purpose? It's like I think you're all just better off with like snapping your fingers and being like, everything I know is wrong. I'm actually a part of a galactic community. The shape of the earth is a lie. I actually live in an enclosed system that might be a part of many other enclosed systems. So, I mean, that in a very quick nutshell. Are you a fanboy or are you a part of the galactic community? We didn't even break for halftime, but it is right back. I do have to go to the bathroom though, so we don't have to pause. Do you want to pause? We can
I don't want
pause.
to rant on student loans right now.
All right, we're gonna pause. We're gonna save you all the student loan lecture for another time.
Last cast, listen to it. That's all about.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. 21-14. Bengals are winning. It's 3rd and 9. Jaguars have the ball though, like within the 10-yard line. Taking a short little time out here. He wants to talk it over with the coaches.
He wants to talk it over.
He's like,
with
Coach,
the Vegas.
I've never seen that defense out there.
We got 12 men on
It's
the field.
unrecognizable.
Put 12 men on the field.
Yeah.
Put 12. So we don't have the flags thrown.
Those magnetic gloves working
Yes.
today.
Yeah. Copy. Imagine what they have to respond to in code. I'm telling you, this shit is like linguists. Like if I learning languages, what I talked about before about learning languages and stuff, but their language is probably so cryptic coded that you couldn't piece it together even if you tried, whether you could lip sync read. But you would have to actually, I don't know.
You have to be in the club and told
does that
how it
sound like
works.
something they would be doing?
Yeah.
I mean, look at how what the airline communicates. They use other coding. What's
he
different here?
Did we just witness like an interception he handed it off to the guy?
Looks up here.
Not to interrupt you, as you're absolutely right. But, I mean, he threw the ball in the end zone, and I was like, man, that's going to go out of the back of the end zone. But then, no, it was like intercepted, and he was like, no, I don't want to catch it. So he just like let it go, and then the guy behind him, it looked like almost like a volleyball move, like he was setting him, Like,
yeah, it's
like he's kind of serving it, not like hitting it away or trying to like deflect, because he doesn't have to catch the ball. The one thing he has to do is knock that fucking ball out so you protect your 7-point lead. Not try to catch it, but like leave it hanging there for the Jaguar to.
I'm sure Jake the asshole will break that one down.
Dude, that one is like.
you gotta look at it. 20 replays. God damn.
Yeah, like
the more I
after
see it, the more
after
fucking fantasy land I see shit, dude. I start seeing shit that's like, man, this is so bad.
Yeah,
Right?
It is like the.
I
Flips.
think them slowing the replays with all that gave away the NFL's one of their little.
Yeah, holy
tails.
shit, that was a screwball
One of
field
their
goal
tails.
too. That one went joink, joink,
Yep.
joink.
Happens every game, bro.
Every
Game, every team has
even
this.
on these short little field
Short little
extra
chips.
point ones,
Yeah.
it's like those are the ones that move the most
They
sometimes.
have to control the number.
It's like, what the flippin'
Yep.
flip? Hey, there's the over. 21-21. Kevin called the over in the
40.
in the only the second game to
That's
hit
right,
the
over
over.
already. Yeah.
Yes.
Second in history.
Kev was
second
like,
second this year.
I didn't
The
even
o-
know
the-
who it was playing until I got here, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's cat on cat. And then he said over under 40,
40.
and that number was just like, nope.
I think 40-40, you would have went under.
44, I'd have went under.
Now, the thing is,
43, I'd have went under. 42, I'd have been like, ooh.
those that don't know, the Monday night football games, they've had 15 total because they played 2 on Monday nights back to back. So there was like 4 Monday night football games, and then you got whatever would lead up to. But there was only one time on Monday night this season where the over went, meaning the combined points of the teams went over to the point spread. So if it was 40 like tonight, they went over. Now this is the second time, so I don't know what's going on, because that they could have changed that number 40. Really made me contemplate also. So good on the NFL giving money back for the people that just because they overlooked too easy. So, but the unders were covering all Monday nights. Like
Yep.
the buzzkills,
Yep.
6-3. Like,
Shit, you'd be
what?
21
21 to 10.
If you'd just bet all unders
Yeah.
for Monday nights,
You'd
and
be
that was
80
your entire season,
Yeah,
you'd be
80%.
13-2.
Yeah, it'd be like 80%,
That's a hell of a season.
But that's the problem. You could do that. Okay, next season, let's just take all the overs Monday night and start it week 1. Oh my God! Next thing you know, next season it's like, Brandon, look at all the overs this year. Now I'll be like, why didn't we do that? Why didn't this season they want all the unders? Next season they want all the overs.
You just want that easy bet.
I think that's going to be a trend I'm going to look at next year. I'm going to go off the NFL's play script. I'm like, what am I going to do next year?
Yeah.
NFL's going to be like, everybody's going to think next year's Monday night's going to go under.
Everybody wants to jump to that quick logic, don't they?
They
Well,
will.
then I'll take that piece and I'll easy button it for next season.
And I'll parlay it into something else.
I'll
So-
easy button it for next week. It's like, well,
But you know, if we
not
would have
the
done
same.
that would have been, we would have had probably 1 million subscribers by now.
yeah, that would have been some like level of
my picks were all unders Monday Night Football. Like
Yeah.
I would have got a lot of people out of Hawk instead of putting them in it with.
We'd had to
my-
change our
my
channel
pick.
name to Beyond Prophecy Gambling
Beyond.
or Beyond Prophetic Gambling, something like that.
And that NFL would have sent a check and said, "Here's how much you guys need to shut up," and then I'd be like, "There's not an amount you can put, but you can put Taylor Swift out of the picture right now," and I'd be quiet. But until then, it ain't. Well, NFL said, "Well, she's bigger than that," and I'm like, obviously, so I'm gonna keep talking about her.
Kev, we could probably get away with. We could probably pull off a channel that is called Beyond Prophetic Gambling. We could probably do that.
I like it. There's got to be people that can think in the same way.
All I would do is I would go from last season and this season, and I would just create a bunch of clips of all the shit that we said that fucking came true, and I would be able to clip a bunch of stuff from every episode. Which I haven't even started going back through all the episodes and like creating clips. So once you're set up with your laptop and able to clip as well, I think we could start an effort just to go back through all the stuff we've done and then just start releasing clips, man. And then when we save those clips too, then we can do another clip campaign, and that's how we can like build our channel.
That's the way to do it.
I knew that's
you gotta take
how
some.
it's gonna take a little time.
Well, of course it is.
Like to like you were always said, it'll take a little time to build the foundation.
It is, man. It takes time. You can fucking do it overnight. But God damn, look at how you gotta put 27 hours in a day into.
You gotta have some credibility.
No fucking way.
Like we came on
the tortoise beats the hare.
Yeah, we came on the scene, and probably the only person who was like picking up what we were putting down on the level that we were doing it was Trevor. And otherwise people aren't really you're not gonna have any collateral, you're not gonna have any merit or like evidence, real evidence for people to go on. And you're not gonna have anything post 1940.
That's true.
Like
sure.
I love that metaphor because I've thought the same things myself when people are thinking about it, and they're trying to put things together. When you say that, it's like I know that I've been to that same place in a thought pattern, and it makes sense. I know that it makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say. It's
It'd get me in trouble in the school system. Hey, I don't give a fuck what happened
think.
before, but I want to know what's going on in the future. Well, that's not how it works.
No. We can't teach people to teach people. We got to teach people that there are teachers and then learners, and then all the rest of the people, and then athletes and cheerleaders.
Student athletes.
Because band members and artists, they just don't really have places in society. All of those jobs get replaced.
You know what? That is true.
Supercomputer robots.
You're right.
Like that.
That is so true. I didn't think about that one.
I think we saw. We missed it in the game.
Would an agency use a band for anything?
Oh yeah.
Times Square, fucking New
actually-
Year's Eve parade. They bring the bands in.
One of the things I wanted.
This band's from this high school, but nobody knows who these people are. They're just like put in there to whatever, to AI everything.
You bring up an interesting spot. Like, okay,
like this is the robotic band. Welcome. They're the first AI band assembled. And I'm like, holy shit, that's that's like some Area 51 shit walking down. So we'll see.
like when you say the agency, when I'm watching movies and I'm seeing occulted stuff or like, or different bands or different artists. Oh my God, what in the fuck just happened on the football field? Anyway, we'll get to that in 1 second. I want to finish my thought. One of the things I think, Kev, is like which agency might this be responsible for? Like, because I'm seeing different styles, and like I'm sure that each one of them likes to leave a little bit different of a trademark, like a watermark type of thing, like a signature. So actually, your comment was like something that I've actually fucking like organically thought about and considered, because one thing I want to do with content is because I watch a lot of movies, and there's no reason that I can't just put a camera up. I want to do 2 cameras, one on my face and one from behind me that's watching both of my screens.
Mm-hmm.
And then just basically people just come watch a movie with me, and I'm going to pause and start, like, give my thoughts, during the movie. And like I was just saying to you, one of the things I've noticed is, like, when I'm watching movies, it's like, which one of these guys was responsible for this fucking thing? Because it's kind of like you almost get the impression
Like, who wrote? Somebody wrote the script and they fucking it came true. And
it's like some one of the right. It's not like one. Yeah, it's just it.
Like, you look at, for example, like Simpsons. There's conspiracies about, like, how they predicted, percentage of what's happened. Like, for example, like an episode made when they made it, like they had the Cubs winning the World Series, but the episode was based off of whatever the subject was, and that all like came together, and they predicted. So who knows, man? That's like some out of the realm of comprehension that you almost don't want to. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, here's a decent example that everybody can relate to. Taylor Swift.
Yes, Taylor.
Well, I mean, she's not NSA. She's not CIA. She's not this. She's
not ATF.
She's straight up
not
clone of the Church of Satan husband's wife. Now, so does Satanism get to claim that one? I mean, is that you can't say. I wouldn't say that that's like NSA creation. Whereas like maybe the Beach Boys were fucking NSA, or the Monkees were NSA, something like that. When like the Beatles were fucking CIA. Yeah, whatever it is, you guys kind of probably get the point.
The movies have been made about
or was it a collaboration effort? Was it like, was G Unit fucking CIA meets NSA? And then it's probably even factionalized like West Coast CIA.
Yep. Right. West Coast FBI.
It's like their version of the fucking softball games. Oh my god, that's a fun one to fuck around with.
And then Taylor Swift, sure. There's got to be something with her. Absolutely, she's involved in something. They needed her for something. I don't know, to put War and Peace. I don't know what's going on. I still don't know, but we may never know. But Miss Swift is
they're going somewhere with these narratives, like we played on earlier. What we're seeing this pattern of. We're seeing the patterns of WWE everything.
Yeah.
We're seeing the pattern of playing the only this person can set the stage for this card.
Yeah, only that person. Nobody else on the planet can pull Taylor Swift. Nobody.
No other game on the planet could pull off this Lego Fortnite narrative.
Nobody.
No other game on the planet, he was saying. Like...
Elvis Presley in the heyday couldn't have pulled this off. And he was the icon of music. She's the icon of what? I just still don't know what's going on with her.
And so many people with it too. And in every case, it's like it has ignited like a fire of an amount of people. Trump just blew up the political scene. And anybody was really paying attention. We were all kind of like fucking... We all had Dusty Joe Buck syndrome from like years of just fucking dusty white presidents who like fucking own Clinton, Bush, like just making perverted jokes of the White House, still even from the Bush and Quayle era of Robert Anton Wilson, where he was a kid, he said, fuck it, every time there was a presidential election, it was Bush and Quayle, with Quayle was a slang term for pussy for them. So it was like they were just like, it's all perverted. And then we have fucking Clinton and with fucking, or Clit even, and with the whole cigar thing. And then George Bush again So it's like we have the same pattern again, repeating itself.
It is, and it's like how many fucking felonies can a president have, and like how many times can he go to trial when he's not president? It's like, what's going on?
How
like
many
think about this. Think about this one. I say this every year in this time of the year. We only see the president on Christmas, Merry Christmas, and Super Bowl from here on out. That's the only time he ain't, unless there's something they need to put a narrative in there to fucking fuck things up, especially with this war going on. Yeah. But that's it. Like, these guys disappear for like 12, like they're gone.
Yeah.
Like they're just replaying shit. They just disappear. But now, like you said, they got the Taylor Swift in there that's like putting everything
Taylor Swift, huge numbers.
Ease.
Fortnite, huge numbers.
Putting everything at ease and putting everything on her. And God, she could run for president and be elected just because of the 10 million voters just like that. More. Holy shit. People would be moving the country, being citizens just to vote for her.
Yeah.
I mean, she would literally but she got Trump, and maybe that's in 20 years. We could say now, can you imagine Taylor Swift being president 20 years? Yes, I can, because Donald Trump became president. Nobody 20 years before that said you're crazy. So I'm not going to put Dave Portnoy and Taylor Swift aside. When that comes down, it could be 30 years, but we don't know how many clones are going to be created until then. But we're going to be, they're doing the script for this. Something's going on with her. Week 2, it came so fast, and it's still here. It's getting bigger.
A big reason why these markers are important is because in pattern recognition, our next step would naturally be to look at down there. Look at all the pattern recognition stuff, like on all the conspiracy webs and stuff on the TV down there. Family Guy. Did you see that? Where we were just talking about that? I mean, come on. That kind of timing is fucking impossible, right? Okay, so while we're talking about that, now I just got distracted. What was I even saying? Jesus. The pattern recognition. Our next logical step would be to say, well, when have they done this before? When have they brought in somebody that was the most popular person that they could have possibly brought in? When has that happened in history?
Never. At Marilyn Monroe.
That's a problem for our timeline, Kev, because it's like, why are they using it now? There's no precedent.
It came this
like they're establishing a precedent now?
No. Why? There's something with her.
Why Donald Trump? Why Taylor Swift? Why Fortnite? Mm-hmm. Why disc golf, WWE, everything? Mm-hmm. Why gambling now?
Yeah, and then the gambling is the big, Back to the Future 2. When they put that Back to the Future 2, the gambling came in and ruined people's lives.
Why the vaccine now?
Now, in the gambling, Back to the Future predicted that they had the casino open and legalized gambling. That was back then because the guy had the script. Why? Because he wanted to destroy people's lives. They got the script here. They're going to destroy people's lives with gambling because people can't do it. They can't do it recreational to a point where it doesn't affect their life in some form or another eventually. So is this a money pot grab to just suck all the money we can out of all the people that are just because they got money from wherever? I don't know what the ploy is.
The answer is this, Kev. The answer is a supercomputer answer. The answer is a galactic community level answer.
Well, they don't want everybody being on that because then what are we going to be doing?
And exactly. What I mean by that is there is no one single reason that they're doing it. It's for so many reasons that all synergize with each other that we can sit here, and that's why we always say it makes our head spin because there's so many. That's why her. It's because
why
it's
NFL.
This is a higher level manipulation than what we're trained to see.
She is so popular,
and we can argue that Trump had. I'm gonna put it in this way: Trump had good music.
Could this be a fucking ploy? Trump gonna get all the Swifties to vote for him, and
possibly,
he's gonna literally there cannot be rigged. because we have 12 million. How many Swifties? We could have 50 million. You could have
We're
so
gonna
many.
see some
Now the thing is, they got to be over
like
age
that.
of vote, but they could influence so many between age of 18 and 24. And Trump all of a sudden says, "Hey, I'm going to forgive student loans, but we're going to stop making them." Yay! Great, you fixed the problem, President. Kev fucking thought of that idea way long ago. But I can see this as I can see all this as I can see it, bro. And now you got me thinking, why? And it's all, here we are. It's all piece of the other.
How do we herd all of these cattle?
But why NFL? What the fuck's going on? ESPN is run by politicians.
The NFL is, it's like when we look at society, what is there to even fucking, we can answer that question. The questions of why certain areas is because when you're a young kid going into your young, you graduated high school, did all this shit right, and you're out on your own, you're going out clubbing. What is there to do? There's booze, clubs, bars. What else is there? What else is there to do, guys?
College football.
There's fucking sports.
Sports.
There's sports, bars, and shopping, and video games. What the fuck else is there to do?
It's sports gambling
In this
now.
fucking world where it's like, oh, we're so technological, all this stuff, we all this blah, blah, blah. But what are people doing? Fucking nothing. They're going to bars, drowning themselves in alcohol, fucking telling all this shit. And so, yeah. Oh, that's fucking cool. It's fucking cool.
It's like $20,000 suite.
That's cool.
Those are in stadiums all over.
But yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, to kind of answer your question, to answer one of the questions of the reasons is because that's where the people's attention is.
It's gotta be.
And they know that, so they establish narratives and drama within all of those areas, and then people attach to them, and here we are. It's like when we boil it down, the spell that they have on society is actually very easy and simple. They put a ton of effort to go through and create all those things, or they skip that ton of effort and they have a supercomputer do it, because this has happened so many fucking times that they already know the supercomputer's product will work.
Yeah. Terrifying.
On a quotations global scale, right? Because globe is a lie. So yeah, that's one. Again, I'll say this again and again and again, and never get tired of it. I always like to start people with the shape of the earth conspiracy, because it's like, if you can get that one, then you can see right away how big the lie is and how big the networks of liars there actually are. And so then when you're looking at the NFL, is that scripted and rigged? Well, they scripted and rigged the fucking globe earth, and that's in every classroom in the fucking country and other countries. So, yeah, absolutely, they can script and rig.
Do you know the only people that don't know what the shape of the earth is realistically, that will never learn it? There's a country that, and I'm talking a country that not the terror, not a
North Korea.
Yep, and they don't have maps. They don't have the shape of the earth. Have you ever there was
Really?
There was
I guess I've never thought about what they actually teach them.
That's a country where see, there was
Like, you don't even
people
escape
from people escaped from North Korea and somehow got out, and they're telling their stories, like how when they were like, there's nothing. So there's one channel, and it's a
small scale example of what's happening here.
They don't know what the North Korea. They don't teach that. They may hear about it. They don't
teach them that there's more land.
They don't know.
They don't teach us that there's more land. Wow.
They don't.
The parallels.
They don't. And
Interesting.
Then what happens is, when these escapees had got migrated to China, they got bought into the sex slavery.
Or they get traded or something.
Yeah, and then they got out of that and ended up in safe. Now they're doing their they're living their lives, telling their story.
Word
They
gets
said
out.
from China,
Yeah.
where it's in North Korea. They said you could see the horizons of like lights. They didn't know what those were. They just heard like that's like another universe. Like they didn't know because they weren't
You
taught.
could tell
like,
them so many
they,
things.
And then
Yeah.
when they got to North Korea and it's nighttime in North Korea, it's complete darkness. There's no light. There's no electricity in North Korea.
Fuck.
Only little like where the rich and they
But you
hide
can
that.
see
They
the
like completely
stars
hide them.
insanely
Like there's no
clearly then.
Yeah, but they're like
Oh.
they don't teach it. So the point
Wow.
is that's an example of how they come. They're like there's no way that's not possible because they have a different view. So that would be the people that you could pull in and be like, tell me what, and they would be like, we were never told. They are not told anything. It's a
Yeah.
very, very, in South Korea, yeah, they learn all that. But that's the difference.
Wow.
So, to speaking of that Glover and all that stuff, yeah, I mean, it's,
And yeah, North Korea is just a
That is.
perfect example.
and nobody escapes. You can't,
Well,
like, you're
people
there.
watch they've seen the Truman Show, the movie. It's like it's that.
Yep.
We believe what the version of the world we're presented with. I've done it myself. I was always a bit skeptical, but I had you don't have any real real footing.
No.
Because you're just a kid. You're just, and then that's what they tell you. You're just a kid.
Yeah.
This is just the way that it is. And it's like they present it as something that like you can't understand it because you're a kid. And then people like me get older, figure it out, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I was right as a kid, and all of the reasons I was questioning you guys was because it didn't make sense. And now I know why it doesn't make sense to a much clearer degree than I did then.
Yeah.
But it's like that child that when you wake up from this spell, this hypnotism, it's almost like you reconnect with your child, the inner child, especially when it was something like the shape of the earth, because that was fucking fascinating. I was like, oh man, I'm like learning. You're just like, you're learning so many things, and like, you realize that you never looked at the moon and the shadow and the shading on it. Like dude, if that's like a dusty rock up there, spherical rock, like how could it be reflecting light perfectly the same from edge to edge? Like it wouldn't be doing that. It would just be like, go shine a fucking flashlight on a basketball and tell me that the basketball's lighting up uniform. It's not how it works, you guys. Ask any artist to draw that, and they
Caleb, get your art out. I
yeah,
want to see what's going on.
We've been over this, that's why we did an episode. Was episode 1. We covered that Big Brain University lesson, episode 1. We had that conversation.
Man.
The first time we even asked Caleb about it, the first time we'd ever even brought up the subject around him. Look at that. Yeah, South America's just taking off. Africa. God, that's so funny. The shape of the earth's just changing. They're like, we're just going to put it over here. Oh, man. Some good synchronicity with that one tonight.
Like the Family Guy, man. That's another one that tells futuristic shit, too.
Uh-huh. That's right.
It's so funny.
Yeah. We sat down and we just mentioned it to him, and we were like, Caleb, we asked him, I was like, look at the shadow on the moon, like how it's lit up. Like if I was shining a light at a dusty sphere object, is that what it would look like? That's not what you would draw. Like you would have a whole bunch of shading and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. And that was it. Like that's all it took. It's just a common sense fucking thing that you see every day. And then you're like, fuck, how did I miss it? So it's like, yeah, you do wake up, and there's this period of like rediscovery and relearning.
I'm gonna go back and listen to the documentary about that person that escaped North Korea. Can't remember her name, but she speaks all over the United States. And I think people have asked her about that. They're like, do you now think that, like, I think there's something that I'm going to go back and listen to that and I'll report back.
Was that Asian Charger lady that we saw in the NFL stands that cheered for the Chargers?
Sure
Was that the one, the escapee from North Korea? Yep. Now she's Asian Charger. No,
she's
the fake fan.
She is whatever she is. Yeah, she's everywhere.
She's the NFL plant. No, that's just what that made me think of. Or also, I was thinking Kim Jong-un. Is that lady's name? It's the only one name I know from North Korea. Oh, that's interesting. We had in my high school and grade school, we had a Korean, not foreign exchange student, but adopted child. So there was a Korean.
I think every school somehow had it was very very minor, but back then I think you could get, I don't know, the laws to these days, you got to go through so much steps, but yeah. So you had somebody in your school system.
Yeah.
Did they have anything to say about it?
No, it was never. And when we were young, you don't understand the weight of the world. So things like that they seem too big for when you're a kid, you're just like a sponge. Like you almost don't. And
you're a human being, a human being, and then all raised in some form or another.
Well, one thing that's interesting here, Kevin, and we haven't really talked about it a whole lot, but when we're talking about like youth development versus then versus now, and even when we let's say like 1940s to 1980s to now, the rate of information that you would process, the amount of information that you would process are like exponentially different. In the 1940s, like where would you get your information? You would not just turn on your laptop or your cell phone and just start like streaming information about whatever you want. You would have to go to the library, you'd have to go talk to people, and then, information takes time to spread. One of the things that Robert Anton Wilson wrote about that I've found really interesting that I haven't found a lot of other people write about is the amount of information in the world and how long it takes to double. So if we think about that concept, like how many years it would take for information in the world to double and then double again and double again and double again and exponentially, just like it probably doubles every 5 fucking minutes now. It's just an astronomical rate that we can't even comprehend. So to kind of speak to what you were just saying, it's like how these kids get how we don't catch it when we're kids. It's because just like we are now and as adults, we're constantly being herded and led to different thing. Taylor Swift, NFL, Kirby Puckett, hockey, Simone Biles, Family Guy, astronomy, war,
sports gaming,
gambling, pizza reviews.
One bite, everybody knows.
One bikini or one girl, one bikini, two girls, one bed.
Yeah.
Twitch
one Taylor,
streams,
2 Swifts.
Video games.
One
it's
Taylor,
like
2 Swifts.
You are music. Like you are constantly. Like I know even when I wake up in the morning, it's been too long that I've been just consuming information that I feel weird if I don't have something on in the background just to like listen to. It's like, how come where's my quiet time where I just process? I was having that thought, actually. It's interesting this came up because I kind of forgot about saying it, but I was having this thought on the way to work. Whereas, like, I wanted to challenge somebody to debate me on this statement. People who drive to work listening to the radio are ruining the world.
What'd you say?
And why that is because, like, at the time I was like, well, if I didn't have a radio in this car, one, how many traffic accidents would be avoided? How many lives would be saved? How many people would be saved from Taylor Swift's grasp? How many worthless fucking products and brainwash would I never have to listen about. And the most important, I thought, was how many of my own thoughts would I actually fucking get to have, instead of this world where everything else is trying to fucking tell you how to think and process those thoughts and feelings for you, or even put those fucking thoughts and feelings in your head when they have no place there to begin with. And on that premise, I think that debate actually is easily won. So people driving to work, listening to the radio, are ruining the world.
I just think let the car drive itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's no stress.
And obviously, you know, that's not something I would take into a debate ground, but you can see the point being made. I would phrase it a little bit differently, so it was a little bit,
sure.
you know. But
Absolutely.
You guys can see the point.
But then there's just endless amounts of alternatives to combat that also.
Exactly.
Good or bad, I don't know.
I think it's really fascinating to think about the information doubling that way.
It's terrible. I mean,
because it's like, are we really getting
like
are we seeing people getting fucking exponentially smarter?
I don't know.
I don't think so. We're not seeing people be sharper. We're seeing people do things like take something that is not broken, like, hi, my name's Brandon. What's your name? Like, you're beautiful. I would just love to take you out sometime. What's your phone number? Now today it's, yo girl, I be catching mad feels.
Bet.
You dig?
Yeah.
You wanna bit me them digits? I don't know what the fuck the weird shit they say, but it's like they make up some weird shit to say something that it's like, what?
The reformulating reality of language.
Yeah, it's like just re-saying things dumber than they've already been said. And it's like, why do you just, these new generations feel the need to pervert and fuck up everything that exists? That's their actual culture.
That was
they
an
think
infant
that's what's
at
cool.
one time. That was an infant that was at one time an infant and became where we are. And that's where did it all mess up?
It's how did they get to the point where they're not intelligent enough to look at their own self acting intelligently or not intelligently? I think Robert Anton Wilson really kind of broadened my horizons in terms of how to think, with just presenting that concept of information doubling and intelligence squared, intelligence examining intelligence. Like,
everything is taking over with effortlessly not doing anything. Like, you can run everything from your voice in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want. I mean, it's just you go. I went when I stayed in Vegas at the Wynn. Mm-hmm. There was there was the little shit everywhere. Siri, play everything was voice activated.
Yeah.
I said, fuck that. I unplugged everything, threw it in the bathtub, and I said, this shit ain't going, I ain't having this.
Having this listening to me fucking everywhere, that's a liability.
Everywhere. So, but that's the convenience. It's like, I don't know. It's too much.
Well, it is a goddamn liability when you figure, like, that Siri or Alexa, like, the next thing you know is your search result recommendations will be on shit that you were saying in conversation with somebody. And if that happened to be a conversation that nobody needed to fucking know about, or if it happened to be, a coded conversation about whatever.
Yeah.
You're buying somebody a Christmas gift and you don't want your wife to know what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So you're like, hey, I need 2 tickets to the ice fishing show.
Yeah. And
you're really taking her to the Halls of Ice. It's a ballet recital because that's what she loves, and you're like, hey, I want to go ice fishing. You're throwing her off,
Yep. Those days are gone. Everything's freaking wired now.
Those days are fucking gone. She knows your browsing history because now all of your Mac devices are like sharing fucking everything. So it's, oh my god, what a fucking weird ass world. We do have a tie ball game. It's a bit more of an interesting game. I don't know if this game has really been really that interesting though, even for a high scorer. I haven't really been that drawn to it.
It's 56. That's over. Way over.
Way over. The spread's 10. I don't know if that spread's... Wait, I said they wouldn't cover the spread. With yes, I do need a tight game, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, this is looking like a trifecta night, boys. I'm going to go buy some more Jordans with all my winnings. I ended up buying 3 pair, Kev. 1 for basketball, 2 for casual.
Nice.
Yep, had to. It's just the beginning, I'm sure. I still need that, like, I'm looking for that 1 pair of, like, retros that I used to have. I don't remember exactly what they look like.
They be putting out new shoes every week, seems.
And I can't find the color that I had them in. But I did have them, like, they were in a youth size, so I don't even know if I can get it, if I can find them anymore. I think I looked at the ones, not to segue on Jordans here, everybody, but I looked at the ones, that the Aura Max style that you had. I think I couldn't even find those anywhere but like eBay or Amazon for like anywhere under like $300.
Yeah, they're
like,
one of those.
shit.
Those are exactly.
I didn't know, man. I just didn't know. Had I known, I would have been collecting Jordans my entire life.
Shit, when those things came out, man, I bought a couple of different sizes and then I kept the one for myself, and that's the one I still wear today. But shit, if I still had them wrapped like in a box, shit, I'd get who knows how much. But yeah, they're $300 plus. You're gonna pay for shoes.
Yeah. Well, now my eyes are open, so I'll probably just, when I find a good pair and I find a good deal on them, I'll just buy 2.
Go.
I'm also, I'm a bit of a minimalist, so I have what I need, and I don't have a lot of space at the moment either. Like, so.
You gotta ask Michael Jordan to give you some real estate.
Yeah.
This closet's big enough.
Oh, eventually I'll be a homeowner, but until that day, I will have to, I can see how people just really get going on the Jordan thing. Like, once you get the shoes, like, then you want the sweatpants and the sweatshirts, and then you got one, so it's like, man, now I want to wear Jordan, like, every day. It's like, well, I mean, eventually you're just gonna end up like you're a professional golfer.
You're wearing everything fucking Jordan.
Or you're like like a salesman in the office, just
or
like
you're just a diehard
tracksuits.
Or you're a diehard Vikings fan and you just always wear Vikings shit no matter what day it is.
Yeah.
Even at church.
I mean, actually, I have a job right now where like customers don't see me and my employers don't mind if like I come to work like wearing coordinated. Like, obviously they probably don't want you there in pajamas, like just rolled out of bed. But if you're wearing like a nice pair of sweatpants, nice sweatshirt,
this ain't what's that where you learn remote? This ain't
no disco.
This ain't remote work. They're like, put pants on.
This ain't no about that. I'm thinking of Talking Heads song.
Everybody was working from home and they would have a tie on with no pants.
This ain't no fooling around. This ain't no party. This ain't no disco. All right. Oh, man.
Talking Heads. David Byrne.
I know.
Shout out to David. Play some David Byrne.
Like, back when music was still like a production.
What a production that David Byrne and his crew. Man, I'd love to see that live performance.
Yeah, me too. Oh no! Quarterback injury. Joe Lawrence pounding the ground. It hurts so bad.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Let me throw my helmet down. Lois, good Lord, what are you wearing, lady?
I'm wearing Taylor Swift boots. today, and all you see is Taylor Swift and her Swifties. Where those good old-fashioned people? I don't know. The singers. The good times are gone, bro. The cost of living going up. Chance of surviving going down. Going down.
Wrist is a little bit sore. God. You know what's odd? I haven't seen a comment on a video from Trevor in like 2 weeks. What I'm guessing is that he has gone into Mad Lab mode and is like cranking out a bunch of videos. I think I heard said he was gonna do like a 50-part series or something like that. So what I'm guessing is he's either just like cramming all those out and like just boom, 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 or he's just taking some time off.
Hey, it's December, end of the year. I don't know.
Or it's a situation where I'm not getting your text messages and I'm sending it. It's like I have to show up at your house because I'm like, are you okay?
Maybe they pulled his internet.
It's like it's possible that they cloned him. It is possible.
Trevor, they not only got back, Taylor took that appeal. They took Taylor.
Yeah.
They took Trevor away. Trevor.
Yeah, they were like Green Bay just beat the Chiefs. Like when Taylor Swift being in Green Bay had to do more with abducting Trevor than it had anything to do with the NFL.
Well, hope he's okay.
That's their story. We're sticking to it.
Yes, they come show up my door. Yeah. I say nothing, I get nothing. What do you want from me? They're like, bullshit, you said it. And I'm like, I don't know.
It'll be Taylor Swift that knocks on the door too. She'll be like, "Hi, Kevin. I've heard you've been thinking about me." Holy shit! Oh, the field goal wasn't good. What a 48-yard temp field goal! It just curved out. Just curved. Oh, they're actually gonna replay it. Watch this. Oh, it's headed in. No. Curves right out. Yeah, that'll be on Jake's.
Yeah, that'll be one of his top.
Make sure to cover that
that'll
one,
be
Jake.
a top
That's
10.
that. And then he looks at it like, oh man, what?
What the hell?
What? I kicked it right down the middle. How did it end up over there?
Hey,
we agree with you, bro.
Like I said, this is every game, not just this
now
game.
it's just every game. Kickers are just all missing field goals. Like, they're not professional kickers.
And people,
when it comes to game time,
they're dropping the passes too. They're doing everything that you could mistakenly do in
every fucking
Pee-wee
thing.
football and still be good.
Oh, my leg hurts so bad. Well, let's just walk. Like, why wouldn't they get a fucking little cart and just zoom him on down? Because they want the cameras to see this fake ass shit. Like, you wouldn't even be letting him walk. I would be like, that guy's worth $13 million fucking dollars. Get his ass on a fucking wheelchair. I see him take one more step, I'm firing both you motherfuckers, and you're getting buried out back. You're getting buried underneath the fucking stadium.
Where Joe Buck and...
Yeah, where Joe...
Where they count money. Let's get a check on them. How's that? Should we find out what they got?
Let's see what they got to say.
They haven't showed them much.
4 minutes, 30 seconds left.
They hit replay of the same commentary last week. They're not even there.
Yeah, it is the same commentary.
You think these guys are fucking awake at past whatever?
It's a similar script to last week here. It's oh man. Yeah, they blew the total out of the water this game.
Way out of the water.
Oh yeah, the quarterback just juked the whole defense. The whole secondary just got just got J-rooted by the fucking... Oh, my God.
1-yard carry by Jake Browning.
The...
When he got the first down, I thought that he was going to go
He's golfing in a fucking cast?
Dude, Joe Burrow's...
It's a fucking cast.
Joe Burrow's face over there on the sideline just looked like, dude, that was a smirk that I know the script is in.
He's suspect, bro.
And this play here at 4 minutes 30 seconds, like the quarterback running a fucking J route, like juking all the way to the opposite side of the field. Like none of those Pro Bowl level defensemen could run him down, Kev. He's just so fast. This backup quarterback for the Bengals. He's
Yeah.
I see some smoke on his fucking cleats, actually.
He got Tyreek Hill legs.
his rubber met the road, and he was burning it.
Yes, he was. His afterburners.
That was a really terrible pun, but I know. Sorry about the damage my wife is going through a phase. That's great.
This is where
Oh shit! God damn it! Family Guy just got fucked up so quickly. Oh my god! And then he just lights burns the fuck. Oh my god!
Fire!
Oh my god! What the fuck? This episode is insane.
be a 50-yard try from this spot if they get after that carry of 5 by Joe Mixon.
Oh, I needed that to get out of this crazy ass football game.
Joe Mixon.
And his name is John Cena. That new movie with John Cena in it, kind of called Freelance. It was pretty good.
Really?
I'd probably watch it again.
Good actor.
Honestly, I don't mind every movie that I've seen him in. Every movie I've seen him in was actually pretty good.
Yeah, good actor.
yeah, you're absolutely
Never played
right.
football though.
Yeah,
He would have been a great,
Donald Trump.
NFL
Yeah,
player.
great actor.
He
That's
went
what,
straight to wrestling. Became one of the most successful WWE entertainers in history. He made more than some of the NFL teams.
I want to start throwing people that curveball. Just like they start talking about Donald Trump. Yeah, great actor, excellent WWE wrestler.
Yes, he was.
It's just.
And then he led
He went on to become a great actor. Still is. Make comments like that. They'll be like, "What?"
When he said Ronald Reagan is the president, Ronald Reagan, the actor, that was Back to the Future. Like Back to the Future is a reference of everything some sort of way. It's strange, bro.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah, almost as if they knew the script was coming. Like, can you imagine having all this planned out?
Hydraulics, the almanac, the
right?
sports almanac.
Like having 9/11 planned out. Like this Taylor Swift shit planned out. Like all of this actually planned out. Can you imagine that?
Who comes up with
It
this?
makes more fucking sense when you look back at history. It's like, oh yeah, well no, that makes more sense that they had it all planned. Roughly.
Taylor
Right?
Swift.
It's roughly, you guys. Like, even if they got like an presidential election fucked up, the opposing party is still in the same boat enough to where the supercomputer can just adjust the script a little bit. You know? It's like, oh, we lost the presidency, but we picked up 3 Senates in the House, so now we got the president in a spot where they can't really do anything, just like they did to Trump, right? So they kind of block what they can do, even though they get them in there, and it's like, it's just always this, you're always getting like this milquetoast version of what you think you're really getting.
Yeah, what a mess.
Yeah.
What an absolute mess.
Yeah.
What?
When it's like, those guys are on the same team and they're just out there acting, when it's like Joe is Donald, Joe is Don, and Don is Joe. Trump is Biden, and
Well,
Biden.
this
just
NFL is
as
no
well
different. All these players are all got to be some sort of
Yeah,
whatever friends.
He's
somehow.
fucking. It's
They're
Joe
there
Trump.
just doing their thing like a movie script. They're just there as these fucking coaches are. It's all. We've been down this so many times, but
It's Joe
the
Trump
NFL,
and Obama Biden.
The NFL is the politics of all of it because those parties and all that. The same thing. NFL, you got the left and the right of the team. You got one or the other, and everybody in the end, all these teams are all together. They get paid. The percentage is like 80% of all gets put into a pool. Jersey sales. So if you're a player on a team that's not very good, you want these star players pushing jerseys because this money goes into one pool and they divide it up between the league. So that's what. Same thing with the politics and Trump and Biden, Joe and Don and
Bengals just went up by 3.
They kicked it. See that one? Good. That one looked pretty soft, pretty straightforward.
That one, that one was more of like they moved it forward, where they brought it right in there. What I was trying to say is, or trying to put together, was it's Joe Trump and Barack O'Biden.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That makes more sense of like who we're actually dealing with.
We're dealing with.
You get any version of those 3, Clinton, Bush, like it's the same goddamn club up there. Like we have to get rid of all of them. The only way that like this system is resurrectable and savable is you have to get rid of all of those fucking people in it.
It's a comedy show, bro. I love it.
It's like we have fuck it.
they gotta get rid of it all, fix it. Goddamn right. Like student loans, Same thing.
Like I can't even start to go down the road because it's like, well, every year these secret societies induct new members from these elite fucking colleges that you can only get into if you're already a part of this fucking club. So,
what a mess.
And it's like then the whole American pitch that they give you when you're growing up is like these Ivy League schools, like that's where you're trying to get. That's what you want to have these good grades for. So if you get there, you're just gonna get 6 figures out of college right away. Like you're just gonna have her made. It's like, fuck, man.
That's a fucking.
Like you're not even gonna have a soul.
That's so. That's so misleading.
Yeah, it is.
That's terrible for people to have this false belief and then end up being like, well, I was promised bullshit.
Then they go fall into this student debt, and it's like, well, now you're a fucking debt slave.
You're fucked forever. Can't get out of it. Gotta pay it. If you don't pay it, you're gonna come after you with taxes.
Yeah.
They're gonna find the money. Trust me. That's why, you know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to run a business and you wanted to do, your shit is on, like, they're going to taxes, they're going to find out you're making money.
Yep.
Good luck trying to find anything underground, cash only. Good luck. That's what I would tell some of these people, like, well, I'm just going to avoid all of it. And I'm like, then what are you going to do? Nothing. You're going to be, like, on a list. You can't even get on an airplane at some point. They will hold you in contempt. Where'd you get the money for They will put an investigation so fast that's the problem. The trap. The trap was in. And you know what? People bought it, and they bought the lie. They bought the lie.
And what these sports are doing right now with this gambling and giving kids a college sport or money.
Fuck that.
They just trickled down the corruption. It's trickle down corruption, trickle down economy. Now they just reinforce the whole thing.
The whole thing's coaxed.
The whole programming of going to school and the Ivy League schools and we all need to be football cheerleaders and these are the most respected. Like we should listen to these guys when they talk about politics and listen to these guys when they make decisions on getting a vaccine or not. Because it's like, they know that the people, the fanboys, are just going to do whatever they're fucking told to do.
Yes, they will.
Sorry, there was a fumble here, and it looked like the guy just fucking threw it away.
It's a travesty. Tragedy.
I'm gonna be surprised if they actually have the Bengals win this one. I didn't see them actually having the Bengals win.
Strange. Why do they need them to win?
Yeah, what is
take the Jaguars out of the playoff picture completely.
So
now the quarterback's out too.
You were commenting earlier. I don't know if I ever really came full circle back to it, but why they're having the Chiefs lose, who got their asses handed to them by the Niners,
The Eagles.
the Eagles. All the big whopper teams are getting their fucking asses whooped because
Miami's winning.
The Niners had that little stretch.
Remember,
after
we were trying to put the storyline together.
Yep.
And it's making sense.
And one thing we noted at the beginning of
Cowboys
the season,
too.
like, watch how these numbers, they're going to keep them all real fucking close. Everybody is close to as even as they can. And, like, all the little outliers, who's the only biggest outlier right now is Carolina. But everybody else, they've been tightening it up.
Miami.
We've seen a tightening in the last 2 weeks. They're tightening all those numbers up, and they just did it again. So that's what we've been seeing. They're pushing it closer together so they can go any fucking way they want with the script.
Anyway, every week they can do whatever the fuck they want.
And it keeps everybody right on edge because then it's like, it keeps the fanboys on edge. Because we might make the playoffs and all this, and then it keeps the betting lines interesting.
Big money.
It just plays right into keeping the illusion just far enough under the fanboy noses so it doesn't smell too bad.
And then
so
when
the
it comes to
fanboy wakes
playoff
up.
time, that's when it's like, that's where the...
It's like a smelling salt,
They
and
could
they
change
can't
the
give it
shit
too much because the
an hour
fanboy
before
will
the
wake
game.
up with too much smelling salt, and they don't want that. They want the fanboy inundated with sugary shit process in their brain.
Absolutely.
Instead of So interesting. That's what we're seeing. While we're seeing, people cheering on this beer commercial, the mark of a fighter, right? Because we're all a bunch of fighters, and they're all a bunch of. Even one of the words I hear the trainers use at the gym, with both young and older people, are when they're trying to give them performance training. They use this word like it should be a violent action. It should be violent. Like you should hit the ground running hard. It should be violent, like not just like I wouldn't use those words. I would say you want to hit the ground, and what you want to be doing, if like you're not just naturally doing this correctly, the things you want to be thinking about are like your momentum and your weight shift and how to use your movement as efficiently as you can to move yourself quickly as you can. Smooth and efficient is fast. But no, the terminology is violent. Like violent, dude, I'm gonna tear a tendon in my knee.
Yep.
Because I'm trying to do something violent to my body. I shouldn't be thinking in those terms at all. Like, why is violent the word that they use? I don't, it's like this trickle down odd conditioning mentality, how these fucking woke people, and I don't want to say woke people, like this new generation, it's like, I got mad feels for you, girl. It's like, why don't you just say what is supposed to be said in a respectable manner instead of like, I fucking what?
I already said, because they reformulate in reality
Right.
in language.
Yeah, like, oh, now it's got to be a violent motion when I'm just trying to run.
Violence.
And you gotta
Violence.
explode.
Fire.
Explode violently. It's
Devils.
like, what? Like, no, I need to be under control and safe and smooth at all times. Like, that's the type of mentality and logic that you would want to condition in somebody. Like, you want to condition that logic in everything you do. Even if you're going for big, brute, violent strength, you still want to be smooth and efficient. Because that's where you're at your strongest. So, the fuck is this violent thing? Violent. Like, what?
I don't know. It's not shocking that that's terminology anymore.
Yeah.
I avoid that type of stuff, so I don't have to hear it when I'm out there.
It was, yeah.
It's frustrating.
Guy meant well, but it was like,
I can imagine.
It's hard to live in this world and like not want to correct everything around me, but it's like at some point too, sometimes you just gotta recognize that the reaction and interaction you're gonna get with people, it can be like the video game NPCs, like they're only capable of a certain number of responses. And no matter what you say, no matter how hard you try to get their gears turning, their light's just not going to turn on. Like, you just won't have enough smelling salt to wake them up. Like, you can shove it up their nose, dude, and have them just pure smelling salt, and they're done. Their eyes are closed.
They're done.
They are the living dead, man.
Now, I do want to reiterate that not every single play in the NFL is rigged, and let's be realistic now. Not every single injury is fake. Let's think these people are human beings, but the appearance is like, oh, how convenient he went down.
Oh yeah,
with that protection, and I don't know. It's
like,
one of those where
this is a contact sport. Like just like
just
WWE is a contact sport. Like you make little mistakes and you break your shin.
Then but
or bust.
On the other hand, I'm not going to dispute that they probably throw something in there like like a fight. Hey, I need you to go down in the 5th round if you make it there.
UFC
or go down. I need you to go down in the last minute 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. You're fighting him. Go down.
You're fighting Conor McGregor. You need to go down in the...
You're a star. You're one of the star athletes, and they're like in a great drama. Hey, I need you to appear and injured, and then they're going to call you out for next week, but then we're going to bring you back to, throw the fucking public off, especially gambling.
Yeah.
So who's to say that they don't do that? But I can't say every single one would be influential like that. It's just not possible. It's not humanly possible.
They definitely do. They definitely hey, we're going to think 3 steps ahead because we're going to set the stage for this. Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, they do.
I know, but which one actually makes decisions for the future next like look at Aaron Rodgers. Shit, man. I mean, he was going to be a Super Bowl champion. The Jets, and then he took him out. They don't need him. They need Taylor and Kelsey.
I know, right?
And the Chiefs. And the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. My goodness, what else kind of script can go better?
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan was going to be the ruler of the WWF until he turned to the dark side and went to the NWO.
Who was that?
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yeah.
That's just what your story reminded me of. Like Aaron Rodgers.
What you gonna do when that 24-inch python's going around on you, brother? brother.
Aaron Rodgers was gonna go do all this and all that, and blah 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 blah, right? And then look at this, we got a tie ball game with 26 seconds left in the 4th quarter, 31-31. Look at this barn burner. No, the only reason this is happening, Kevin, is because I've got Jordans waiting for me at home. That's the only reason this is going into overtime, is to like delay my efforts in getting there.
Let the porch pirates take the shoes.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's another tie game. Oh my goodness. They haven't had what? 62. Way over. Fuck, they doubled the over damn near.
Jeez, it is
right?
like
40. Yeah, I mean, there's 62 points. Shoo, who saw that one coming?
Oh man, not even close to that.
What's the Talking Dead doing? What is the Talking Dead? They're like, it's too late. They're dead.
While the Jacksonville Jaguars are trying to win for the 8th time in their last 9 games.
There we go, Troy.
Holy shit! Did you see it look like that was controlled there? I thought that one looked like it. It's because I've been watching when I figured out that basketball was happening on Steph Curry's shots. I figured out right where it was doing it in the flight, so it was the most inconspicuous. It's right when the shot gets from here.
That's where.
That's about where the football's starting to do it too, because most people lose it, the trajectory, kind of when it's coming right here. So
I get you.
if they kind of control,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The NBA, man.
Well, because if you're Steph Curry, like how am I gonna pull this off every time? I
He
gotta
makes
be able
every
to do
shot
it.
from every angle. You know how they talk
He's
about
got
every.
the perfect setup
Dude,
shot too. He just
just
knows that it's
does.
gonna throw it up, and the ball control thing is gonna do the rest.
Like they probably
So he
ran
knows right
how
where
many
to throw
million
it.
simulations with the shots on like
I've watched
and
it,
he's
and
gotta
I
have
broke it down.
he got some magic, man. That's where I'm gonna say.
Because there were
absolutely.
times like he was just turning and shooting, and I'm
Just-
like, dude, no.
Like, it's not
The only
humanly
person I've ever
possible.
seen do that's fucking Reggie Miller. And now that I think about it, now that I think about it, the way Reggie was doing it, he kind of had that same thing where it's like, nah, I think even the ball control was happening then too. Like, it's been going on for a long time. I just never really noticed it. But now that I'm older and I understand the mechanics of my shot even better, like I want to put a camera on myself just to see how I shoot, because when I go to the gym, when people are watching, like I know they notice, and it's like I'm not doing anything flashy, but it's like I know they're just watching my shot and they're just like, oh man, like they're taking notes. It's like there's something about it. I think I have the most beautiful shot in the whole wide world. Not gonna lie. No, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. But I have a good shot. I always have had a good shot. Nobody's gonna argue with that who's ever known me and playing basketball. I can fucking shoot the lights out. And if I get my next situation all straightened out, I'm gonna be dropping them from half court with no fucking problem. Maybe just like a free throw even. Like I used to be able to just stand at the 3-point line and just shoot it like a free throw. You didn't even have to jump. It's just all. But I'll get back to that. Anyway,
tied it or
that's how I can kind of tell. I can tell if they're trying to make it, if they're really lining up their shot in the way that you would line up a shot to make it. But they're not. They're lining up a shot where it's obvious they're just going through the motion of shooting the shot. And it's like, oh, I see what you've done.
There's no defense in NBA anymore either.
Right. Yeah. No,
every goddamn scores total is like 260.
This lazy ass it's like half Harlem Globetrotters. It's like WWE.
It's
with
like the All-Star
basketball,
game.
man.
You know when Kobe Bryant retired, the night that he announced his last game playing in NBA, he scored 66 points.
Oh, really?
And
Jeez.
you know what? They were,
and he had like 6 assists.
I know.
Or 6 rebounds.
I watched a replay of somebody was
6
talking about
steals,
how it was rigged, and obviously it was rigged, but it was so blatant that Kobe would run up, and you know how do you explain this correctly? You know how you put a individual out that's just a bad player, but they're going to give them confidence by letting them run the field and score a easy basket.
Yeah.
They were like, the goat. They're like this, and they were like gloating him here.
Yeah.
And he shot, I think, like a record number of 3-point shots, but he still got this. He should have had 166 points.
Oh, yeah.
Like he had the record, and that's how it ended. Now, with that being said, that's fine. Everybody knows that's scripted. But that's just to show how now it's open free for all with this NBA, because it's really they're getting taller, and they're just shooting so accurately.
I saw there was
and
like
there's no more fouls.
7-10
They're like no
guy.
more elbows to the face is fine, and that's how the NBA's changed. NFL different. Throwing flags everywhere.
Yeah, jeez.
Strange.
We've seen such a shift.
They're letting the players play like they're on street ball. The way they fucking play like they on 3-on-3. They're letting them do the shit,
Really? Yeah.
getting away with these fouls.
Interesting.
NFL, they gotta control it in the whole, because the NBA is like every night. So they can do whatever the fuck they want when they want to rig something, but I don't think they just put a fucking performance on. Nobody cares, NBA. I don't watch that shit. I miss the old days. Give me back my old basketball, Taylor. Bring that back. Do something good. Don't fucking ruin NFL. That's people's own last hope. They're on their last leg. Then what are they gonna do? Like really? They're gonna be like feeling left out if they're not watching.
Yeah. They're gonna be they're gonna be left with no choice but to shut their television off and then fucking actually like converse with their children. Who the hell wants to do that?
No.
What the fuck are they gonna talk about?
Nothing.
It's not like there's a whole bunch of information doubling every 5 minutes or anything that they could go like research or something together. It's nothing like that. Jesus fucking Christ. No. No. We want those kids to get educated by Boy Meets World. Fucking what's that stupid God damn it. What's the reality television show? The Real World.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many of them. I was like,
Of course.
I literally blanked on like 8 names. I put 8 different names that,
That'll be called
that weren't
Swifty's
correct.
World eventually.
Yeah, dude, those were the things that were like going through my head. It was like different combinations of things.
Swifty.
Like I have a habit of doing that because it's fun, but when you're actually trying to like talk and present information, sometimes that can be a bit of a...
It's part of programming.
Anyway, yeah. Well, we got overtime on the game here. Yeah. Didn't the first game that went on the over the total, wasn't that also an overtime game?
I believe so.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, they've had 6 overtimes in Monday Night Football.
And 2 of them have been the over, so both of them have been the over. I mean, even though this game was
A couple of the other overtimes were like 10-10.
like before
It was
halftime,
yeah.
but
Like the other ones were low score, 14-14 and kept the under. But this one was the highest one of all for sure. 62 points is a lot. That's a top 10 high scoring year.
Yeah, this is a big
don't see that
scoring
often.
game, especially now with both teams.
Just the fucking 31 each. Look at that number. Just
I almost want to say the Bengals are going to win because of the theory we had on the tightening of the
teams.
yeah, they'll go 6-6, and then the
And the
Jags will
NFL
go
added 1
8-4.
extra game on the season, so there's more manipulation they could do in the last 2 weeks, more or less the last 5.
I guess I didn't look at that fact before the start of this because I don't have any skin in it.
They get
but
2 bye weeks now, so they have plenty of time to re-script everything if they need to.
see, that's the difference in what Jake does with his picks with what somebody would do who's actually putting like a bunch of money on these games. Because I think that a lot of people have the ability to go through and short the public. Like that's not necessarily that difficult to exercise that strategy.
Of course.
Especially when you have the numbers in front of you, like here's the spread, here's the total, here's where the public's at. It's like, well, you can almost kind of play in some common sense factors a little bit, which he does. I mean, the guy does a good job of it. I'm not discrediting him at all. But I think the difference between that and what something like you do is just providing a deeper level analysis on the game itself. Like, for example, here, I just kind of went with what I thought was going to be decent for the narrative. It seemed to make sense. I didn't really look at where the money was on the public, and I didn't even look at where the numbers were, but it's like just a soft example of like how deep you can start going with the logic on picking these games, and then it's like, where do you stop that logic?
It's tough, man. It's so tough. It's tough. Right?
Right.
That's why nobody can be 100% of
Right.
this shit. It's impossible. It's
this
mathematically unless you flip. It's mathematically impossible to be consistently over like 60%. And if you are, that's just pure digging everything out and getting an edge on everybody else. Whatever that edge is, it's what it is. I thought I had a great edge this year. I don't, and I'm whatever.
Well, we had one going into the season.
Big time.
Had a big edge.
Big
We were
time.
both fucking came out came out red hot.
2-0, boom, boom. Then Taylor showed up on that fucking Monday Night Football game, whatever, that Sunday night, and I said, Jesus, this is something going on. And then bam, here we are.
Yeah.
I'm fucking not even, I can't have chips to cash in. So, whatever.
It's odd, swifted season. Yeah.
You know why? Because if I was 12-0 or 13-0 right now, whatever, they would be like, "Fuck that!
Oh,
we
fuck
can't
this
anybody
guy
be
do this. We
13-0."
bring Taylor Swift in, and he's still got our number.
Yeah, he's like
they let him catch this.
We'll make him disappear.
They let him catch this ball, and then there's a flag on the field. Like, Jaguars just went deep into double coverage. Was it holding on offense, though?
See, that guy's not some schmuck.
Yeah, it was holding on the offense, bringing it back. Now all the fans are like, what? We were down on the 5-yard line. Oh, see how they do it?
Of course they do.
See how they do it, guys? The WWE match down here is still going on, and we've seen like 2 or 3 pin attempts so far. So this game, it's just like watching this WWE match down here.
It is, isn't it?
I love it.
It's different colors play a big scheme in it all.
Yep. Oh, that guy just reversal.
Boy,
now he's climbing up to the top rope. There he goes, deep to the end zone. He's going for a touchdown. Flag on the flag.
If they wanted him to win, they would have said no flag. That's it. You gotta have 15 flags in a wrestling match.
Oh man,
it's what it is.
We can definitely do that. We could take these Logan Paul matches and just turn it into a football game.
But this WWE, the business is huge, worldwide, global, sell out every arena.
Yeah.
Big names. Some of these names, they're worth more than some NFL teams. I mean,
shit!
It's all big. And at one time, Vince McMahon, the guy that ran all this stuff, he wanted like 51% of the NFL. Like he wanted like complete ownership to whatever he was going to do. But now we're seeing it. And the politician that own ESPN, man, that's where it all just, like you'd mentioned, Donald Trump and then to the Taylor. So it's all just what it is. And I take what I hear and what I try to read up to see what's going on, but I take it with a grain of salt anymore because I don't know I didn't know if Taylor's, I'm just like, you know what, I can't even put anything anymore with the picks because.
Oh, he got him. He got him with the 3 count. And Nitro Beardman has won the match. Oh my God. What a brilliant display of just athletic talent.
Athletic talent.
Sheer athleticism. And
he's back up.
Strength of will.
Okay.
The courage to defend the belt under these situations here tonight at the Garden is just above and beyond anybody's expectations. And look at the sportsmanship. He's helping him up. It will definitely not be the last time we see these two square off. You can bet your bases on that. I used to love this part where they go to each corner of the ring and fucking hold up the belt and everybody cheer for them over there. I used to love that shit.
It's Super Bowl.
Because like The Rock would do like, you get all into it and shit. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh wait, what's happening now? Now somebody attacked the guy who was actually in the ring. And then the champ tries to defend him, but he also gets taken down. He's going for a full suplex on the announcer's table. Oh my God! The guy looks like The Undertaker.
He's big.
Drew McIntyre? Just say The Undertaker already. Oh, that's a total Undertaker line. The truth will set you free. Dude's got like this. He's just missing a bit of leather. Is all black leather is all he's missing.
What a fucking Oh man.
And then they go straight to just like showing girls' asses to a country bar. Right? Because the girls are going into the country bar trying to get fucking drunk.
Getting drunk, liquored up.
God, alcohol.
Ride on mechanical
bulls. Terrible.
Do some shots.
Effect on your decision.
Shorter the skirt, cheaper the drink.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, there hasn't been a tie game this. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't been a game that ended in a tie.
I was thinking
and
this
that's
earlier
this
that
is right on
maybe
pace.
this is what we're gonna see is like a tie game.
It could very well be.
Because why not,
that
right? Why not just throw that fucking...
Yeah, put a tie in there.
Yeah.
Because that would be playoff implications.
Yeah, why not?
That could put both in the playoffs. Just based off of the tie, if everything plays out. Who knows? Like I said, there's 5 more weeks for them to toy with this shit.
Look how they have like next score wins. Like they're advertising it down there. They never used to do that.
Yeah, what's going on? Are they...
Like I remember I had to ask you earlier. It was like, is it next score wins or something? Like... But now they have it on there, so it's like now I think that they're foreshadowing that nobody's going to actually score, right? They're just like, next team to win, guys, next team to win, because they know a bunch of Swifties who don't fucking play football and don't understand the rules. They're watching, right?
Of
So,
course.
Next score to win, they keep them tuned in, but yeah, there's not going to be one. 31-31, that's the end of the game.
It's just third catch of the game. As they hand the chase block.
Oh, for a gain of about 2.5.
They're right on the outer edge of field goal range.
Right on the outer edge of field goal range. Uh-oh. You know what that means, Kev. We're going to see a turnover or a pass to the middle of the field.
Or flags to put it in through the middle. Either way.
Oh, yeah, that could be too, like pass interference.
Flags to make a tie.
Half a distance.
Push it back
goal.
15 yards. Move that bitch back to the fuck. They ain't kicking a field goal at that point.
That too. 2nd and 9, here we go. He's on the top rope. Oh, quick release.
He gets
Quick release to the sideline, and
hands to the face.
that looks like he's in field goal range. End of first down. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Jaggies right now.
Not at all. Hands. See, how is that not?
Yeah, how's that not offensive face mask?
See what I mean? They need to they need to come up with another review board. Like you got 3 people sitting there. Like, okay, do we all agree on it? Yeah. Okay. Like when they do figure skating, when they do boxing, they have judges to decide that how the match is gonna go.
3rd and 2, Kev.
That's what they need to do with all these suspect.
Yeah, get a whole nother set of referees in there. Like,
they
that's
got
what
a
we were saying
camera.
last
They got
time,
how many different camera angles they got in the stadium.
Get a referee to watch a referee.
Get the AI involved.
Get a fucking 3-way. Yeah, and then get AI to fucking watch him too. Like, get body cams and mics on all of them. So it's
Get
like
the
we
EA
have.
Sports staff involved. Let's get them
Was he out
involved.
here? Was he out here? I mean, they can manipulate that footage too. Like, if they need him to step out of bounds and he didn't step out of bounds, they can make it up. They can edit that in there.
Any green screen.
Yeah.
Right?
You got a supercomputer that can just create this. It could create this exact thing that we're looking at.
Well, I know people that have been to games, so I know
It
that.
already did. It's not like a...
And this guy, why does he need a little TV when you got a 60 fucking yard TV up there? Why do you need to look at that? We can all see perfectly. What are you going to see that we ain't going to see? What are you looking for?
I know there's an official review TV up there that's the size of the fucking football
It
field.
is. And 60 million people are seeing this.
Yeah.
But they need that little TV they've been using back.
Yeah.
Is there something involved with that TV that's from 19's fucking what?
I'm thinking that little TV says something else.
Like it's a TV that you...
Like they're gonna show this replay again 900 fucking times. Like
Yeah.
we can see that he stepped out, dude.
But you're going to see it in that little TV.
Oh, because they're trying to give us the impression the referees are making the right calls, right? They're really reviewing the plays to make sure that this is fair. That's probably like it's just as soft, like as much as they
See, look
can,
at the
right?
one-
Yeah. Oh, they got.
What does that thing say? 1962 on the side?
Yeah. No shit.
That's some shit that you would have saw in the Elway days when they didn't have instant replay. They just, for whatever reason, they had the small TVs they were looking at.
That was like the old Apple One he was holding.
Apple. And you know what? Who knows what that's connected to?
Yeah.
Like, is that thing going into like some sort of...
Those used to be booths, not just like they would have to go stand there at those things, not just a guy holding it.
This is strange, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Like, here, you gotta watch it on this little screen.
This little tiny little fucking 10-inch motherfucking screen.
Like, why would it even be on them? Why wouldn't you just have referees in a fucking box somewhere that are watching all of the cameras, all the footage? Like, why would it be the referee on the field? Okay, let me stand here
and you know
watch
what?
it in this little box.
If they're gonna do it, make it look like a fancy equipment. That's some shit out of like before the internet.
Well, and that's part of
before
that
before
fits their
the
script.
internet.
Like they go through this extravagant. Let's show you all the stupid
thing,
shit
right there.
that doesn't have
that
to happen.
Thing has no
but
bearing.
yet it's like from 1962, right? It's some fucking toy.
It looks like a video lottery machine.
Yeah. It's
like
like
you would see in a fucking at the casino in Vegas. No chance. That thing's fucking. The graphics are so old. Like,
it's like that story where they were like, "Oh, there's this submarine, this billionaire submarine that they it got stuck down there because the batteries on the controller ran out." And then the controller is like some $20 fucking wireless Logitech Universal game controller that's a fucking toy. And you're like, yeah, they use this to navigate a billionaire submarine. It's like that's part of it's this hidden in plain sight fucking joke.
Like there's a VCR tape and he's sitting there like the rewind and going back.
And like how
it takes
long
6
is
minutes
taking
to make
too?
it. Takes 6 minutes to make a command.
6 minutes just to make a fucking decision on a replay they showed us 900 times already.
But then he's talking to him. And the eyes in the sky see it all.
Yeah.
That's all like a casino, right? Pit boss is looking over there. The worker's looking at the shift worker. The shift worker's looking over at the casino host. The casino host is looking over at the pit boss.
Right,
he's looking over there. I'm looking, and they're looking over there. And the eyes in the sky are watching everything.
And my eyes are on the ass of the waitress.
You know, like everybody's watching everybody. And
oh my god,
man, what a mess.
Yeah, a mess, a big fucking mess indeed.
These people. Oh. Poor.
Oh, are we gonna play some football here finally?
Poor souls.
44 an extra offensive lineman. And Mixon, and he picks it up. That's a first down, Cincinnati, and a fresh set of downs with under 3 minutes to go in overtime.
Man, I saw this play in College Football Review. You know how they put the first down marker?
Yeah.
And they measure it?
Yeah.
And this fucking ref, dude, they were showing it on one of these like rigged things. And the football sitting there, right?
Yeah.
You know how if it's tipped forward and like this motherfucker had it like it was blatantly like and it cost them a fourth down and the game was over.
Oh.
It was one of those. It was blatantly where you know how it's like
wow.
It was that, and they're investigating the fucking ref to see if he was like involved in something.
Yeah, you'd have to.
They can't review that questionable call. It was just everybody was pissed, and they said, and they
it's like
they had
all
like
the
escort,
referees.
they had to escort the
one
ref
there.
off because the fans were going to come down the field and kill this guy.
I could see that happening.
Now maybe that was rigged. They told him to do that. I don't know.
I've been a lot of people be so fucking mad to learn that their like favorite sport and favorite team has been scripted and rigged this whole time. And they've been manipulated. It's like, I don't know, a lot of people just fucking lose it at that point.
That's my point.
But I don't know. I think those people who lose it at that point, they won't actually ever admit that it's scripted and rigged.
This is all hypnotism.
Yeah.
There's something that they put into this that we can't get out of, and it's just one of those. It's like the slot machines at the casino. There's just something that the NFL is hiding in the back. Like there's something that they're hiding that's just it's trapped.
Right.
It's trapping.
Oh, you're totally right.
Trapping.
Yeah,
all of it.
and
It's all.
It changes the way that you actually even see things too. It's really something. There is some element of
It's something that there's something that they it's like one of those things if you stare at a hologram long enough, it like changes the dinosaurs, or you can see planets.
Yeah,
and the Earth is all that.
Yeah,
but that's the same thing.
It is. Yep.
And then you got people that look at it and they don't see that change. They're just like thinking it's on the up and up. But then we see and they're like, well, I don't see what you're seeing. Well, motherfucking everybody else saw it.
Yeah.
Shit's fixed. They're like, no, man, I don't understand. Like, that quarterback makes too much money to be manipulating this stuff.
Yeah, then their canned responses come out, and it's...
But that's the difference. Now people are starting to focus on the like, oh, shit, Kev on something. Everybody been on something.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this since the first day of fucking, like, we started the cast. It was the first thing was like, we're going to talk about rigged football and this shit. And then we're still to this day, but the proof is there.
Oh, yeah, now it's just like...
It's a burden of proof. Burden of proof is right in front of our eyes.
That's right.
But you know what? The NFL gets a pass. And we start the jury trial next week.
Yeah.
Let the jury decide. Taylor Swift is deciding. She kicked the jury out. She's in control. Princess of the NFL. Commanding chief.
There you go. The commander in chief. Oh, that's funny because it is the Chiefs. That's a good one.
Yes,
it works pretty well.
She's gonna have Miss Swift. So yeah, interesting.
1 minute 55 seconds left. So, wow, they are milking this one.
If they miss the field goal, then that will be a pretty much tie game.
Yeah. Well, fourth down. We're going to see if this field goal goes in or what. So now there's a timeout. Now we're probably going to see another commercial.
And Joe Buck left.
Yeah.
He's like, they're like, we shut his battery off. We powered him down after the half.
Ooh.
Look at that, dude. Like, they can manipulate this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
On one game.
Okay.
I've never seen the league have so many losses, because usually you have like a 13-1s.
Had I seen
13-1s. Like, we don't see that. Nobody has one. Everybody has like 2 losses, but the Eagles, that's one team. Dolphins, they have like 3.
Had I seen what I just saw, I would have maybe picked the Bengals to win this one.
Good job, Joe.
Yeah.
He's back.
Uh-oh. Flags.
There we go.
Oh, my goodness.
See, everybody was getting ready to leave, and they're like, high five, and they're like, motherfuckers! God damn it! And they're angry.
Make them do it again.
They're angry. Yep. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow. All right.
34-31.
Well, that would have made sense that we just looked at the standings and been like, well, the Bengals need a win here to make the narratives just spicy hot.
I'm telling you, man, this shit is something. I can't.
So yeah,
everything is so, because usually you get down to the end, you already have like teams that have clinched their divisions. That's not even that's not gonna happen until like week 17.
That's what I said. Bengals win by 3, right? That's what I said at the beginning of this.
You said
pretty sure I did.
Bengals to cover the over. Yeah, you said cover and the over.
I said the Jags would win, but they would not cover.
They did not cover.
10. So I was wrong about that, but I did get the over.
Well, shit, you got the over, which was a big one, because the trend was all under. So
next year's going to be the year that I'm really going to like hone in on what's going on, because I probably would have called, like I said at the beginning of this too, I think.
You'd have to,
I didn't even look at the standings.
At this point, I might have to do a distant remote from Antarctica and get away from the fucking world.
Yeah, See if that helps, like, to get away from the Swiftie effect.
Antarctica. I'm on my way.
Right.
I don't want football over there. I just want to go there and not know nothing.
I don't think you're gonna be able to live stream.
They're formulating shit. I'm sure they will figure out something at that
Well,
point.
even if you can live stream, it's gonna be the encryption's gonna be something that only the NFL's gonna be able to decrypt.
And
So.
I ain't even gonna have a clearance for that.
Exactly.
Savages. I'll be like, I got a fucking.
Is it? I mean, that's some odd shit to think about too. Is like all the levels of like military and NSA and the CIA and all these, agents out there that are and military members that are like
TSA.
working in places like Antarctica and like underground labs and shit like that and cities. Even like truck drivers or some shit where like they're just military or they're NSA and they're truck drivers because they drive for places that we can't know about.
Well, I'll tell you,
the levels are probably insane.
I can't confirm or deny. You'd have to kill me.
Yeah.
But I do not speak for the Department of Defense, nor do I speak for any government agency. I only speak for myself when I mention these cryptologic, the three letters.
The alphabet soup agencies.
The National Statistics Analysis.
The ABCs and the
Stats,
CBSs.
Stats that aren't helping in NFL. Stats that are crushing my soul. Taylor Swift, be gone. Week 13
Yeah, fuck.
in the books.
Wow, what a day. Long day. Shit.
Long day.
Got a little OT in there. Didn't expect that.
Yeah. And then here comes the alien guy, the bald-headed Mr. Scott Van Pelt himself.
We gotta see what he has to say, because that guy's probably got the most wisdom out of all of us.
He got the next script written. He evolved. ESPN bet. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
What a rigged game.
Wow.
Public got handed their asses tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think everybody was all over. They were all over, just like I said, they were probably all over the Jags to win the game, but not cover the spread, and they might have been even in on the over. Who knows? I'm not sure. Like I said, next year we'll have to get a little more in depth with where the public's at and all the numbers that I'm going to consider.
And this is a Taylor Swift thing, so this is out of our control.
Yeah.
Next season, bygone. Hopefully, this is just a taste. And now with gambling, I think this was the taste of NFL to see how much money they can suck out of the public.
Next year,
I think that's their target, and then they can be like, well, next year we won't kick the public to the curb because the economy's in a recession by then.
Yeah.
And people can't afford to gamble. They're gonna have no money.
Even if Taylor Swift stays in the league, the thing is, like the league is already on fire now. It's not like she just started the fucking flame and then we saw it just take off. Next year it'll still be burning, so it's gonna be more tolerable and it's gonna be more predictable. Like we said and illustrated in a couple episodes ago where I cashed out, like they're gonna give us the script, and the fire of Taylor Swift can only burn so hot for so long.
The wrath.
Until everybody gets used to it. And
you know what?
starts
It
to
burns
see
out,
it.
and it becomes. We're so tired of hearing about her.
Plus, what that follows the same thing as
Next
what
year.
happened with Donald
I'm
Trump.
not going to be interested if she's somehow involved next year. I just don't want.
Donald Trump set fire.
We've had her.
Now we don't want to hear about her.
We've had her way too much of this helping of Taylor Swift, especially with the holidays coming up.
I've heard way too much of Donald Trump to last me a fucking lifetime. I don't need to hear about him anymore.
And
I can say it's the same exact thing for every card they played. It's like even when Fortnite came out. Now Fortnite, they're playing that card with bringing Legos to Fortnite, changing that game forever.
They are.
Same thing we could say with that. Like, God, at first everybody was like, yeah, log in, Fortnite, let's go. Who's not playing Fortnite now? You're at Fortnite right now. You're a fucking loser who probably has COVID, And then it was like, okay, I don't want to hear about Fortnite ever again. Like, we just all thought the game would like die off, but geez, man, it hasn't. It hasn't. It's still got like millions and millions of players, and now it's like, I don't know, whatever this whole little narrative thing is with the change. Like, we'll see what happens here. We'll see.
It's a total mess.
Yeah.
Week 13 in the book.
In the books.
Next weekend, 2 Monday Night Football games.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There's 2 next week. 2
Nice.
playing.
Nice.
So that'll be 2 that they're on different stations at the same time.
Nice.
So,
yep. All fanboys who made it this far, come on back next week. We'll have a couple games for you, maybe. And for all of those in the Galactic community already, keep on keeping on, you know?
Keep on.
We'll figure out more of the script as we go and watch this unfold. Unfortunately, we're in this state of, having to watch it unfold because we got a whole lot of fanboys out there who can't fucking wake up.
And it's going to get chaotic. As more as it already is.
Too many goddamn snooze alarms.
Yes, sir. We're born to wake up to alarm clocks.
That's right, man.
That's
That
it.
is right. All right, y'all. It's been all that. Catch you next time.
There's